radio and beyond. I say Beltway radio and beyond. I said the Beltway radio and beyond. Say it again. The Beltway radio. What? And beyond. Right here. Beltway radio. Say what? And beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway radio and beyond. I say Beltway radio and beyond. I said the Beltway radio and beyond. Say it again. The Beltway radio. What? And beyond. Right here. Beltway radio. Say what? And beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway radio and beyond. I say Beltway radio and beyond. I said the Beltway radio and beyond. Say it again. The Beltway radio. What? And beyond. Right here. Beltway radio. Say what? And beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway radio and beyond. I say Beltway radio and beyond. I said the Beltway radio and beyond. Say it again. The Beltway radio. What? And beyond. Right here. Beltway radio. Say what? And beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway radio and beyond. I say Beltway radio and beyond. I said the Beltway radio and beyond. Say it again. The Beltway radio. What? And beyond. Right here. Beltway radio. Say what? And beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway radio and beyond. I say Beltway radio and beyond. I said the Beltway radio and beyond. Say it again. The Beltway radio. What? And beyond. Right here. Beltway radio. Say what? And beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway radio and beyond. I say Beltway radio and beyond. I said the Beltway radio and beyond. Say it again. The Beltway radio. What? And beyond. Right here. Beltway radio. Say what? And beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway radio and beyond. I say Beltway radio and beyond. I said the Beltway radio and beyond. Say it again. The Beltway radio. What? And beyond. Right here. Beltway radio. Say what? And beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway radio and beyond. I say Beltway radio and beyond. I said the Beltway radio and beyond. Say it again. The Beltway radio. What? And beyond. Right here. Beltway radio. Say what? And beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway radio and beyond. I say Beltway radio and beyond. I said the Beltway radio and beyond. Say it again. The Beltway radio. What? And beyond. Right here. Beltway radio. Say what? And beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway radio and beyond. I say Beltway radio and beyond. I said the Beltway radio and beyond. Say it again. The Beltway radio. What? And beyond. Right here. Beltway radio. Say what? And beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway radio and beyond. I say Beltway Radio. And beyond, 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 beyond. I said the Beltway Radio. And beyond, beyond, beyond. Say it again. The Beltway Radio. What? And beyond, beyond. Right here, right here. Beltway Radio. Say what? And beyond, beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway Radio. And beyond, beyond. I say Beltway Radio. And beyond, 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 beyond. I said the Beltway Radio. And beyond, beyond, beyond. Say it again. The Beltway Radio. What? And beyond, beyond. Right here, right here. Beltway Radio. Say what? And beyond, beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway Radio. And beyond, beyond. I say Beltway Radio. And beyond, 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 beyond. I said the Beltway Radio. And beyond, beyond, beyond. Say it again. The Beltway Radio. What? And beyond, beyond. Right here, right here. Beltway Radio. Say what? And beyond, beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway Radio. And beyond, beyond. I say Beltway Radio. And beyond, 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 beyond. I said the Beltway Radio. And beyond, beyond, beyond. Say it again. The Beltway Radio. What? And beyond, beyond. Right here, right here. Beltway Radio. Say what? And beyond, beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway Radio. And beyond, beyond. I say Beltway Radio. And beyond, 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 beyond. I said the Beltway Radio. And beyond, beyond, beyond. Say it again. The Beltway Radio. What? And beyond, beyond. Right here, right here. Beltway Radio. Say what? And beyond, beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway Radio. And beyond, beyond. I say Beltway Radio. And beyond, 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 beyond. I said the Beltway Radio. And beyond, beyond, beyond. Say it again. The Beltway Radio. What? And beyond, beyond. Right here, right here. Beltway Radio. Say what? And beyond, beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway Radio. And beyond, beyond. I say Beltway Radio. And beyond, 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 beyond. I said the Beltway Radio. And beyond, beyond, beyond. Say it again. The Beltway Radio. What? And beyond, beyond. Right here, right here. Beltway Radio. Say what? And beyond, beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway Radio. And beyond, beyond. I say Beltway Radio. And beyond, 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 beyond. I said the Beltway Radio. And beyond, beyond, beyond. Say it again. The Beltway Radio. What? And beyond, beyond. Right here, right here. Beltway Radio. Say what? And beyond, beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway Radio. And beyond, beyond. I say Beltway Radio. And beyond, 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 beyond. I said the Beltway Radio. And beyond, beyond, beyond. Say it again. The Beltway Radio. What? And beyond, beyond. Right here, right here. Beltway Radio. Say what? And beyond, beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway Radio. And beyond, beyond. I say Beltway Radio. And beyond, 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 beyond. I said the Beltway Radio. And beyond, beyond, beyond. Say it again. The Beltway Radio. What? And beyond, beyond. Right here, right here. Beltway Radio. Say what? And beyond, beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway Radio. And beyond, beyond. I say Beltway Radio. And beyond, 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 beyond. I said the Beltway Radio. And beyond, beyond, beyond. Say it again. The Beltway Radio. What? And beyond, beyond. Right here, right here. Beltway Radio. Say what? And beyond, beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway Radio. And beyond, beyond. I say Beltway Radio. And beyond, 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 beyond. I said the Beltway Radio. and beyond.
Beyond.
Say it again. Beltway Radio. What? And beyond. Right here. Beltway Radio.
Say what?
And beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway Radio. And beyond. I say Beltway Radio. And beyond. I said the Beltway Radio. And beyond. Say it again. The Beltway Radio. What? And beyond. Right here. Beltway Radio.
Say what?
And beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway Radio. And beyond. I say Beltway Radio. And beyond. I said the Beltway Radio. And beyond. Say it again. The Beltway Radio. What? And beyond. Right here. Beltway Radio.
Say what?
And beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway Radio. And beyond. I say Beltway Radio. And beyond. I said the Beltway Radio. And beyond. Say it again. The Beltway Radio. What? And beyond. Right here. Beltway Radio.
Say what?
And beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway Radio. And beyond. I say Beltway Radio. And beyond. I said the Beltway Radio. And beyond. Say it again. The Beltway Radio. What? And beyond. Right here. Beltway Radio.
Say what?
And beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway Radio. And beyond. I say Beltway Radio. And beyond. I said the Beltway Radio. And beyond. Say it again. The Beltway Radio. What? And beyond. Right here. Beltway Radio.
Say what?
And beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway Radio. And beyond. I say Beltway Radio. And beyond. I said the Beltway Radio. And beyond. Say it again. The Beltway Radio. What? And beyond. Right here. Beltway Radio.
Say what?
And beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway Radio. And beyond. I say Beltway Radio. And beyond. I said the Beltway Radio. And beyond. Say it again. The Beltway Radio. What? And beyond. Right here. Beltway Radio.
Say what?
And beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway Radio. And beyond. I say Beltway Radio. And beyond. I said the Beltway Radio. And beyond. Say it again. The Beltway Radio. What? And beyond. Right here. Beltway Radio.
Say what?
And beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway Radio. And beyond. I say Beltway Radio. And beyond. I said the Beltway Radio. And beyond. Say it again. The Beltway Radio. What? And beyond. Right here. Beltway Radio.
Say what?
And beyond. Oh, say the hook. Beltway Radio. And beyond. I say.
Are far smarter than you can ever imagine. There is no obstacle that you cannot overcome, no problem that you cannot solve, and no goal that you cannot achieve by applying your mind to your situation.
Go on and Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
It's a wonderful Monday.
It's a wonderful fucking day. If you're watching, you know what time it is. It's Monday morning. It's Real Talk Uncensored. It's what we doing. I'm Tone.
I'm Kiki.
And we got OT in the building.
Hey. What's up?
All right, today's show is going to be really dope. But first and foremost, let me jump out here and do this real quick. I want to make an apology to Adrian Simone. Some shit transpired and some stuff was said and done. You know what I mean? And I want to say that I'm sorry in front of everybody.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I was wrong, and I apologize. You know what I mean? Man, you got to do that sometimes, bro.
Damn it.
Well, what's the matter?
Nothing.
No.
I'm talking about you.
Oh, no, nigga, sometimes you got to apologize.
Yeah.
I'd like to jump out here and say that y'all need to invite y'all friends. It's dope, ain't it? I need you to invite y'all friends to watch us. If they are not on Facebook, they can catch us at Beltway Radio and beyond on IG, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Yeah.
So, it's no way y'all can't catch us. Y'all better share this shit with y'all friends.
Before I go any further, Kiki, where'd you find this old school pen from? You remember they used to have these back in the days with different colors, red, blue, green. Where the fuck? I've not seen one of these since I was damn near a kid.
The dollar store.
God damn.
Dollar store.
All right.
Did you name your pages? Did you?
No, I ain't number my pages, but I get it from you. I'm gonna do it in a different color.
Happy
you know
Pride Month, everybody.
I'm not signing that.
Sorry,
I'm
whoever.
not signing that. I'm not signing that. I can't sign that, bro.
Okay, sorry.
You know what I mean? But okay, you give them their props or whatever. Yo, today's name for the white man is
Perk 30. Good morning.
Mr. Perk 30.
He's a Perk 30. Is he not?
I ain't even heard of a Perk 30 though. I mean, like, they have them?
Yeah.
Damn.
Them the strong ones.
Yeah, nigga. All right.
Them the ones that turn your sound down. OT, I think that's you. Is that me or you?
No, that's me.
They sell those. Those are the strong ones. Those are the ones that got good street value. How about that, Perk 30?
Oh, those are the ones that got the good value, huh?
Yeah, them the ones that they smash and they grab it. Did you see that on the news?
No.
Our youth are out of freaking control. So I was watching the news this morning, and they showed that if y'all familiar with PG County, the Sheriff Road 711, they drove a truck through that junk. It took
Really?
Watch the news. They drove a truck through it.
Just to get the drugs?
No, this is 711.
Oh, 7-Eleven.
They took the ATM out of there. Yo, what's going on? Like what's going on?
They robbed the 7-Eleven for the ATM.
They drove a truck through the front glass window
Just to pull the ATM out the joint.
The ATM out and rolled out. Sheriff Road.
It's getting hot. They just getting started. You know what I mean? You know, DC is on the list. They finally made it back to the list since 2003 for 100 plus kills, 100 plus murders so far.
So gentrification did what? What did it do?
That ain't doing nothing. I mean, it ain't happening in the white people part of town. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna go in their side of town and do that shit. They pushing the niggas back to a corner. What you think? You putting a lot of hostile people in one area. What you think gonna happen? All right.
Block burners tonight is back night is tonight.
It is.
Y'all wanna fuck around with them? Fuck around with the block, Red Crab and Laurel.
All right. Probably take a ride up there. Hop on the 14 and take a ride up there.
So, Mr. Sir.
Mr. Sir, that's what you gonna jump at this. So last week we were watching this. If y'all tuned in and y'all watched the show last week. We wanted to talk about a topic. You know what I mean? That OT had brought up. You know what I mean? But the only way for us to discuss this topic is unless he came in here and let's talk about this shit because you know what I mean. This is something important. OT, you want to bless us with what you was talking about last week and help the people understand?
Yeah, first off, appreciate you all letting me come in and say a few words. Really appreciate the platform. I think, what we come here to talk about today is about juvenile justice.
Yes.
Yep.
Right, I got a lot to say, so
Okay.
that's what we're here for.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to go into it until y'all ready.
I'm ready. I'm just. Pardon me. I'm listening to you. I'm just doing my normal.
Okay, so because we have not sat down and had a conversation with you, this is going wherever it needs to go.
Okay.
This is Real Talk Uncensored, y'all. So it goes wherever it needs to go. Now, as it relates to juvenile justice, let's kick it off. Let's start from the top.
Okay.
Do you think that juveniles get justice?
So let's talk about justice in itself, right?
Okay.
When we talk about justice, we're talking about a punishment or reward for one's behavior. Right? So when we talk about juveniles, we're talking about 18 and under. So we're talking about those who are 18 and under being punished in the system for their behavior.
Okay.
What my issues are today is that I don't feel like our juveniles are being punished according to their behaviors.
I'm sorry, I was that bill too soon.
And so I find myself on the other side of the argument because I was a juvenile offender, and people expect me to be a proponent of slapping them on the wrist. I'm not a proponent for that. You must be held accountable. So that's what brought us here today in light of what happened with Baby K and that situation on the bus. So that's what's going on.
So for those who are not in our area or live under a rock or don't watch the news or just not up on current events, can you go over the incident with Baby K that you speaking of so people can kind of be up on it?
So we got to say allegedly, right?
Yep.
So allegedly, Baby K was one of. We got to.
I got
it. So allegedly, Baby K was one of the. And I'm sure we may even know some of the family members and stuff like that. But allegedly, he was one of the offenders on the bus that went on to the school bus, Prince George's County school bus, and tried to assassinate.
That's a good word.
Assassinate, murder, kill, crush, slaughter, peel his wig back. All of those things, all those terminologies that we use in the street, tried to crush one of our students on a school bus, right? And so,
so tried meaning it was unsuccessful.
Yeah, I mean the trigger was pulled. They say the trigger was pulled. The gun didn't fire for whatever reason. And so the little child was able to maintain his life, But had the trigger been pulled, or if he in fact, the gun fired, we may be singing a different song today.
Because according to the news that I saw, it was 3 times. They said it was
I thought that's what he did.
On the floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, that's what we're talking about. Not just him, but just juvenile youth. Juvenile offenders and the crime and the spike of crime in Prince George's County, particularly, I'm fed up with it.
Yep.
I'm fed up with it. So, I appreciate the opportunity to come in here and talk about it.
All right. So, me and you see eye to eye on some things. I feel like a lot of these adolescents or these kids. That's what we're better terminology say. These kids. They're not being held accountable. They have too many laws to protect these kids, and these kids know that. So how do you expect the crime to stop if you keep babying them? If I went out and committed the same crime as an adolescent, you know what I mean? My punishment is going to be much more severe. Why should that be any different? The crime was the same. You got to stop slapping these kids on the wrist. Give them the business right off the break.
Off the break, I'm with you.
Well, I have a question.
Okay.
Because I wasn't a child that was in a lot of trouble growing up. I didn't have law issues. I didn't. That wasn't my life. My brother, I could say, got into a little bit of trouble, but we had a father who came in and stopped that shit short early. But I knew people that were in instances, or I knew a couple of my friends had passed away through gun violence in my high school years. I need to ask y'all, since you guys are offenders, do you think what we see now is different from our time? And if it is different, why do you think that is? Because I didn't never, like this right here, maybe I wasn't aware of it, but like the violence with these young people, it is rampant every day, and I don't remember seeing it look like this.
I don't remember. Okay, maybe because you weren't paying attention. Okay. I don't see no difference from then and now.
Really?
You know what I mean? Even kids at my age, when I was back in my generation, they were still wilding out the same way. You know what I mean? But the laws then still protected kids. You know what I mean? And they were able to get away with different things that you can't get away with as an adult. So leading into that behavior as a kid, I was able to get away with certain shit. So I figured the same rules are going to apply as I got older. And I quickly learned that there's a big difference between being young
and being older. You know what I mean? The penalties are way different. But it wasn't no difference back then. You just wasn't paying attention to it. It wasn't broadcasted the way it is now.
Well, social media got to do with that. I was going to bring that up too. But you saw children or young kids being killed at the rate that they are now. Like, I watch DC. I mean, I watch news every day. Now, that's just why I stopped watching it. But every day, it's at least 4, 5, 6. Just last night, 3 people got killed in Annapolis. It's every day. It was like that. Like,
it was
So,
and you from this area?
Yeah,
I am not. I'm from
so
Michigan.
I'm from New York. So that's why. Let me get your take on this area.
no, I agree with Tone. Like, it was the same. Actually, DC was the murder capital
Facts.
back in the early 90s.
Yes, it was.
What was the joint? City Under Siege. Like, so the violence was there, and myself and my squad, we definitely was a part of the violence. Like, it was there as youth. I think the difference is not only just social media and all of that stuff, but the accountability piece. You did something back then with a pistol in your hand, your ass was going to adult prison. There was no talk about youth justice reform or we shouldn't be charging them as adults and all these type of things. If you were adult enough to grab that pistol and put that pistol in somebody's face, back then you was going to adult prison. We had a whole adult tier. It was 11A. In PG County Detention Center, it was a whole adult dorm, well, not dorm, but tier just for us because it was so many of us. So it was absolutely rampant back then. It's just you was being held accountable as an adult. Nowadays, these talks smacking them on the wrist or putting them in this program or it's the father, where the father's at, or it's the household, or where the parents at. Nah, that's a different conversation. Like, we need to talk about that aspect of everything as well, man. But nah, it's the same.
So you agree with kids being charged as adults?
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So of course there's got to be an age limit. We're not gonna put a 10-year-old.
Okay.
We can't put a 10-year-old in adult prison. We can't. Maybe not even 13, right? But
and would it maybe come in for 13? Maturity?
I mean, at 13, you're not gonna put
a 13-year-old.
You're not gonna put him in adult jail, but then he got to go to jail.
He said maybe. So I'm saying, what's the maybe coming from? Like,
they got to be held accountable. So what we might have to do is let them do juvenile life and then switch them over to adult prison once they reach 17, 16, 18 or something.
So with that said, 18.
With every state varies.
I know in New York it was 18, and after 18 you switch to the adult
I think
side.
the city might be like 21 or something. I don't know. But we got to do something different.
So I know in New York for a fact that, you know what I mean, when I pulled time, I locked up as a juvenile, and then when I became 18 on my 18th birthday, the nigga sent me right over to it wasn't, oh no, you're done, you can go home. No, nigga, you gonna go over here and do this time.
Yeah.
So there's no difference. So I agree. At a 10-year-old, you can't put in an adult prison, but there has to be some type of a jail system or something punishment for that, because you're saying at 10 years old. Okay, yesterday I was sitting home and I was watching Chicago PD. And this kid killed his friend, right? And the whole time, these officers was like, we know your dad gave you the gun. We know your dad gave you the drugs. Just put it all on your dad. And I'm sitting there losing my mind like, yo, this kid pulled the trigger, killed his friend. And at the end of the show, the kid went home. It was like, oh, he's home with his parents while his dad is doing life. Wait. You're condoning this behavior.
Yes. You are.
You're letting it know that these kids can go out and do whatever crime they want to do, and there's no accountability for their actions. They're not being held accountable at all. It's okay. And then at that point, it's the parents' fault. It's everybody else's fault why this child did the behavior he did. Never once do you look and say, yo, this kid, in some cases, some of these kids are a piece of shit. They need to be held accountable. They need to be penalized the same way as we do. I know some people may not feel that way, but I'm just saying this to eliminate some of these problems. You got to start thinking like that.
We're here for opposing views too. If you have,
of course, please.
Oh yeah, we need opposing views.
I need
because, listen, as a youth offender that kept that pistol in my hand, not only did I need to go to jail, not only were lives saved because I went to jail, including my life. Look at me today. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes we got to keep busting your head on the wall.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to go up in there, homes. You think it's a joke. Our children from the show me state. You can talk.
Yeah.
All the hell you want. Oh, you think we playing? Send them in there. And if you don't want to send them to an adult prison, right? Let's talk about our juvenile detention centers. What have they done to Boys Village? Nothing. If you don't want to send our children to adult prisons, what's the alternative? They need to be in somebody's goddamn prison or something. What's the alternative?
Exactly.
You can't come back from it. You can't come back from it because if you don't want them to go to an adult prison, but they need to be in a juvenile facility, right? Why aren't we sending them there? And if we are sending them there, what are we doing to better them once they're behind the wall?
See, and so there lies your problem.
There go the problem.
There's the problem.
There go the
when
problem.
When you send these kids to these facilities, or even adults, what are you doing?
There you go.
To fix this behavior.
There you go.
Nothing. You're just sitting there pulling your time.
There you go.
So now, how do you expect to get better if you're in jail and you're surrounded by other criminals?
There you go.
What are y'all going to talk about? What are y'all going to think about?
There you go.
That's it. So now, you know what I mean? You come out sometimes worse than what you went in.
There you go. So my argument is not just one fold. My argument is not just send them to jail.
It is. Huh? No, I'm listening.
Oh, yeah. It's not just send them to jail and smack them. I have many ideas, man. Like, listen, son, you're going to jail. What you did, you're going to prison. Now, when they get to prison, you cannot sit in there and play basketball all day. You cannot play dominoes all day. You cannot do nothing. You have to take your ass to school in prison, get your, not your degree, get your diploma, get 1 or 2 trades, right? And then we begin to prepare them, get some mental health.
Facts.
In prison. Then we prepare to bring you back into society, prepared to be a law-abiding citizen. So I got different facets. It's not just lock them up, but you got to
do something. So like back in the days, I know from when I was locked up, back in the days, you could go to college. I know men in there that got their degrees from jail, came out, was successful. Even kids, you know what I mean? It was mandatory when you went to jail, you had to go to school. You didn't have your high school diploma, you had to go get your GED. And then after that, they had the programs, and they would pay for college for you. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's still there anymore. That's not an option there no more.
Your boy Bill Clinton killed it, but I think it's back. I think Trump brought it back.
Yeah, do something about that, man. You'd be surprised.
But I think now the Pell Grant, all that good stuff is back, so you can go back to school.
So I'm going to be on the opposing side.
Yeah, we're going to need somebody.
Yeah,
somebody call in or something.
Somebody.
Oh, y'all feel free to call in.
The phones work. 301-761-1040.
We need somebody.
So
do what you do, baby.
Okay. This ain't necessarily, you know me.
It's not necessarily your thoughts,
Yes,
but
this
is what your job is. It will make you good at what you do.
Why would we?
Because they committed the crime. Go ahead, though.
The underdeveloped mind of a 10-year-old, 12-year-old, 13-year-old, does that come into play at any part? At any time? Because kids do what they see and they do what they know. Okay. And if you raised up in a house that was violent, or you raised up in a neighborhood that this is how we got money around here, this is how I carry myself, because it's reiterated to you every turn. Every turn, you come home, your dad shake out, sell drugs. Your mother, she do what she do. She's not really home. You know, the neighborhood, we got to defend ourselves. All my youngins, all my cohorts and companions got guns. I for whatever reason they have them. Now I have to have them. And I'm gonna put it in the instance of the Baby K situation, right? Which I was not there for. Just according to the news, I wasn't there for.
Allegedly.
So in that case, now, Mom, Dad, this little boy on my school bus, my friend almost got murdered in front of me. Now I feel like I need to go out here and protect myself from that person. Okay. So now your 12-year-old got a gun. Where in that, and I'm not saying any of this is right or wrong, but can you see any of those points in the instance of the child?
Yeah, that's exactly what caused me to carry 2 pistols and 3 pistols and thought I was Wild Wild West when I witnessed 2 murders at a young age, a double homicide out Cherry Hills. Yeah, that's what caused me to say, oh, nah, I was scared to walk down the street. So that mentality, I understand what you're saying. I'm going to get me a pistol. But again, I have to suffer the consequences of those actions. When I caught my 2 attempted murders, it wasn't because somebody drew down on me or somebody, it's because I was being a hood motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So there's a difference in protecting yourself with an illegal pistol versus running up on a school bus trying to crush something with an illegal pistol?
Well, the issue to me comes from that a 12-year-old, 13, 14-year-old feel like they have to have it. Like it came down to this, and this is not just this is an isolated incident that happened to be broadcast on the news. But I work in a barbershop. Every day, these youngins, and let's go here, with these masks on, with these glasses on, their face can't be seen. A lot of this stuff is going on, and it's being reiterated because all their friends do it. And these boys, they fear for their lives. So why can't we start there? Like, what is that? Like, and where isn't that the fault of the parent?
Because I'll use me.
How your son can run out here, let me before you answer, how your son can run out here every day and wear a fucking mask on all day, every day, and you don't say shit.
So let me ask you this. Well, them not saying shit, I don't know about all that, but let me ask you this.
Okay.
Have you ever left your mama house fully dressed and ended up at a party half dressed?
I've seen it. I did.
Maybe you, okay.
I've seen it, yeah.
Okay.
I was scared shitless of my parents. So,
okay.
No.
So we know for a fact that the way we act with our parents,
Exactly.
and we know for a fact the law that our parents put down in that house, when we leave outside of that house, we become other than.
Facts.
So my issue when people say that is, we only see what we see in the house. My son can't walk around my house with his pants hanging down, with a mask on his face, or none of that. He can't go in public with me like that. But when he's out of my sight, he has his own mind. He's going to do what his friends are doing.
Facts.
Outside of my sight. What can I do about that? Why should I be blamed for his behavior that he's choosing to do? So if a 12-year-old decides, not from me, from society, from his homies or whoever, grab a pistol, go out here and act like an adult with a pistol in his hand, his ass needs to be held accountable. Now, I'm not making no excuses. If you did it, son, you got to pay the piper.
My mom always had this saying, right? If you was man enough to do the crime, be man enough to do the time. You know what I mean? If you make your bed, you got to lie in that shit. So I adopted that philosophy.
So either way, whatever
I do out in these streets, whatever the consequences may come at me, I'm just going to deal with them. You know what I mean? I'm just going to have to deal with them because I put myself in that situation. I didn't have to, but I did. You know what I mean? So now that I got to deal with whatever punishment these motherfuckers going to throw at me. I got to deal with that shit. You know what I mean?
So that's go ahead, Tom.
It's like, oh shit, I forgot my fucking thought. Go ahead, bro.
My bad.
No, you good because I was gonna fire off on some she said.
So Kiki, and then let's take it back.
Okay.
Because I'm sorry. So as a society, let's talk.
Okay.
So we got to take this thing all the way back to elementary school. We got to talk about the community involvement, right? Because all of this play a role on how our children are conducting themselves out here in society away from their parents, right? Let's talk about school. These children are allowed to go to school and do whatever they want to do with no consequences. I'm talking elementary school, taking weapons to school, taking fighting in school, doing this. They don't get suspended no more. I know this personally in Prince George's County. They don't get suspended no more because I'm not even going to put it on Democrats or Republicans or none of that. I'm going to say our legislators do not want to punish our children because they believe in the prison to jail pipeline, right? Which is a whole different realm. That's a whole different thing. So the thing is, for me is, listen, if my son come to school and my son is misbehaving, I need you as administrators to hold my child accountable. You cannot let him get away with whatever he want to get away with and do whatever he wants to do and think that he's going to be a productive citizen as an adult. It's not going to work like that. He's going to think that he can do whatever he want and get away with it. So coming from a community aspect, all of us play a role in how these children are conducting themselves away from their parents. All of us play a role. So when you say the mom, the dad, what's going on in the house? No, what's going on out in the community?
I was going to say that because I know back in the day, many days, my whole neighborhood. That's why I'm saying I did not do what you was asking about changing my clothes because My mama and daddy knew everybody. Everybody knew that I was their child. And they got reports back. People was not scared to mind my household's motherfucking business. They was not afraid. Now we're afraid to do that.
Okay, but now
Now
there was
people
a
are afraid to do it.
clearly there was a breakdown there. Clearly, so there's a breakdown because now you're like, I got to mind the business that pays me. You see this kid out here doing some fuck shit.
Yes.
And you know the parents.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But here's the problem. When you go to step to a parent
Hey,
about
hey,
fucking problem,
hey.
the parent wants to jump back. You ain't going to talk about my fucking kid. And it becomes a whole nother issue. Hence why people deserve are staying in their lane saying, hey, I seen it. I'm not paying no mind. And they're going over here and talk to Shirley about it. They'll talk to Sue about it.
Facebook.
I seen these kids out here, but you don't want to talk to your parent because why? Some of you parents are fucking ignorant.
They are.
You know what I mean?
They are.
And you're the fucking problem. So now,
That's a
in
fact.
some ways, I'm going to hold some of you fucking parents are responsible. And why I'm holding because you want to be their fucking friend
Yes.
instead of being their fucking parent.
Yes.
There's an issue right there.
That's an
Most
issue.
of these kids that are like this, some of these kids, we talking about your child. My son ain't walking around with his pants hanging off his ass in the mask. But some of these kids, I've seen them get out the car with their parents on, with the mask on.
Yes.
With their pants hanging
Yes.
off their ass. And your parents are condoning this behavior.
Yes.
So there's the fucking problem right there.
Part
I'm
of
not
it.
saying part of it. I'm not saying all, but some.
But watch this, Tone. Watch this. So, and we still on juvenile justice. And all
Oh,
that.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Watch this, Tone.
Absolutely.
Man, all right, so watch this. Now, our children are being taught in school, elementary school, that if your parents whip your ass,
Ooh.
Call the police.
Boy. So
and
now-
again, I'm talking from personal experience. The reason why my son ain't with me right now, because if I can't whip his ass, he can't stay in this motherfucker house.
Facts. So hold on now. So now what do? What happens when these kids realize that all of these rules and all of this protection that they have, this way they can go to school and look and see the fuck you, I ain't gotta listen to you. You ain't bop, bop, bop. And there's no remorse. There's no remorse. There's no repercussions for their behavior. So what do you expect? Now this behavior transcends from the school to the streets, and now you're seeing this, a child gets on a bus and dumps off like he's in the OK Corral. Come on now.
And then you're going to say, where the parents? Where the father? Where the mom? It must be his house. It must be this. It must be that.
No, it's you motherfuckers that making these
on,
laws that make these fucking kids feel superior, like they can
on,
get
man.
away with it. You know what I mean? Stop blaming. Sometimes it's not the parents. Because it's like you said, inside the house, a child, right? Gonna know, I can't do this shit here.
Hell no.
I ain't fucking around here.
Dad ain't
You know
going
what
for
I mean?
that.
Hell
Mom ain't
no.
going for that.
But as soon as your child gets outside the house, it's okay. I'm gonna use for my 23-year-old. When I wasn't around, or my mother wasn't around, my daughter thought she was something else. I crept in the house one day and was listening to her on the phone. I was like, listen to this motherfucker talk. She came downstairs. I was like, I thought I heard a 300-pound fucking gorilla upstairs. Nigga, you ain't built like that. But when you got in the streets, you thought you was. You know what I mean? And my motto, philosophy was that is, you're going to learn the hard way. You know what I I mean? You got to learn the hard
It's
way.
your blood. It's your
It's
blood.
my blood.
It's your child.
Exactly.
It's my child.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's mine.
Yes.
My blood
Yeah.
in him.
Yes. Yes.
His blood is in her.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, yo, you gonna have to learn the hard way. You know what I mean? Now, you get out there and some shit happen, and now you got motherfucking pop off. But you ain't built like that. You wasn't raised like that. Most of you silly little motherfuckers was raised in the
I'm
suburbs.
trying to tell you.
Let's talk about it.
And
You in the
they've never
suburbs,
been, and
dog.
they never been battle tested.
Jesus.
They
Come
never
on.
been battle
And
tested.
so
you can
here's
put the
why-
costume on. You can put the attitude
But
on.
here's
your
why
Facebook
they
and
run
all
to
your
the
social
guns,
media.
because now they seeing
Yes.
other people carrying, toting guns, and they think it's a cool thing, but they don't know how to stand in the street and fight. Take the ass whooping. Do whatever you gotta do.
Nah.
They don't understand that. So the first thing they want to run to is a gun because it makes it easier. It doesn't take nobody. I learned that it doesn't take nobody to pull a fucking trigger.
At all.
You know what I mean? A baby can pull a fucking trigger and pop somebody. That's nothing.
And that
You know what I mean?
happens, too.
Yeah,
That doesn't make you a real fucking nigga or a real G. That's not what that's about, bro. You know what I mean? All right.
I
go ahead,
have.
go.
I want to just put out there that thank God, Baby K grandmother or whoever his angels are, did not allow that child to die. I'm very grateful for that. I think that carrying a gun and being responsible for what happens to a gun is two different lanes. I think when the reality of all that sets in and your 13-year-old mind understands how one thing that you did affects everybody and anybody
Yes.
around you.
Yes.
them trying to go to jail and deal with that on top of trying to grow and trying to grow mentally, and you're trying to I've never shot nobody, but I know that sits on your brain. In jail, just like you said, where there's no mental health, there's none of that stuff to make this stuff make sense. You forced to carry that with you and do your sentence, and then come out where you ain't even been reintroduced into society and still have that mentality. Why isn't there more reform for those type of people?
Nah, because jail is a business.
It's a
business. Christ. They making money off you. As long as you go to jail, they making money off you. So what the fuck do they care? Because they know if they don't reform you or nothing like that, you get out. And a cop said it's a revolving door. You're bound to come back. And the stats don't lie. It's a revolving. You get out, and then what happens? You do something else. And I was in that. So I know I was in that revolving door. You know what I mean? I got out. There was no reform. I went back to the streets, and I was like, I'm about to do shit, but I was like, well, I got caught for it this time. I'm going to do something a little different. But the same fucking results. So now I'm back in jail around criminals again. We're not talking about nothing. There's nothing preparing you for the street. There's nothing for you to look forward to when you get out. You know what I mean? Your attitude at that point is, man, I got a criminal history. Ain't nobody going to give me no fucking job. Man, let me get back to the block and get this money.
Facts.
As I got it, because nobody's helping take care of me at this point. I got to take care of myself, so what the fuck? Where are we at in that situation? What do you do to fix that?
And so, the crazy thing is, like, when we look at this whole situation going on with our juveniles, we have to go all the way back. We got to go back to elementary school, holding them accountable, going to school without your uniform on. They don't. Go home. That's not what's happening today. They come to school without their uniform on. Oh, poor baby, come on in here. We're not sending you home. So guess what? You got a whole school full of children without their uniforms. Look, go to your local high school. They wearing sweatsuits, tights, all kinds of stuff. So we talking about justice reform, and so we got to start there.
Facts.
We got to start giving these parents back their God-given rights to discipline their children. If my son does something and I put the belt on him, that is not goddamn child abuse. No. Now, if I come in the house and I smack the shit out of him for no reason, that is child abuse. But if I put the belt on my son and help him understand, son, you can't just do what you want to do in my house. That's not child abuse. But when you're telling them that your parents can't whip you, which, by the way, in the state of Maryland, you are allowed to use corporal punishment by law.
Come on.
However, the policy of CPS is if you leave a mark.
That's Virginia.
Well, how you going to whip somebody's ass and don't leave a mark? Our children, again, are from the show me state.
Yep.
All that talking, that's not doing nothing. So now, let's say they commit an offense. Now when we get them detained, because technically, whatever the fake language. Now when we lock their ass up, right? Now we have to have a structured program for this youth offender that when he walks in that door, his rehabilitation started the first day he walked through this door. Your son, you're going to school. When you leave school, you're going to a trade. Right after you do your GED.
Therapy need to be an issue.
Therapy
need to be an issue.
You're going to do trade. You're going to do school. You're going to do mental health.
That's right.
Therapy, which helped me. Listen,
Facts.
It helped me
every day.
It helped me. And when you come home, then we're going to start preparing a road to redemption.
Facts.
Now we're going to seal your juvenile. If you show us in a few years that you're on the right track, we're going to seal that. Now when you go to get a job as an adult, they can't see that.
Exactly.
Because you have shown us that you're trying to get on the right track. But for those who don't want to get on the right track, for those who want to be thug people, right? Guess what? You're going to pay the piper. Come see me, son.
So hold on.
Come see
now.
me.
So now you have some of these kids that fake it to make it. You have to remember you have those out there that's going to fake it to make it. Yeah. You know what I mean? But the end of the day, you're still going to go back to prison anyway. You know what I mean? You're going to go back to prison. Now, I'm all on board with what you said. But as your sentence comes to a close, like from New York, when we went to see the parole board, it was usually 60 days before our release date, right? Somewhere before that, like the last 6 months, even though you're going to the parole about to be released, there should be some type of program to help you transition back to the fucking society and give you the life skills that some of these kids don't got because some of these parents don't have the life skills to give to the kids.
Right. All of that needs to be done in the prison. When I was in the feds, bruh, they had, listen, you could take 50 programs if you wanted. In the state of Maryland, you can only do one. You could get, you got to get your GED as a juvenile.
Of course.
But you can only get one vocational training, and you can only take that 3 years from your release date. So if you got a 20-year sentence,
you gotta wait till you do 17 years.
You have to do your GED, right? But you can't get into a trade until you are 3 years, unless they change it since 3 years within a anticipated release date, which could be parole. But we still 10 years down the road.
Facts.
15 years down the road.
What are they doing? That. What are they doing in that in between time?
Exactly.
What's happening in between time?
Being housed.
Being housed.
Here's the ultimate contradiction that I was listening to you say, right? So you said with the law with a corporal punishment, that the law tells your child if your mother and father hits you, that they're allowed to call the law on them, right? Here's the contradiction.
Come on.
You're saying to me that if I do the crime, I do the time. I'm saying the same thing in my house. So how do we make that make this? You did the crime. I'm whooping your ass in my house. But there's the contradiction comes there where you can do the crime in my house, but I can't hit you.
That is the ultimate
contradiction.
So you need to learn your laws of your state, first off. You know what I mean? Because I know in Stafford County officer looked at me one time and said, hey, you're allowed to discipline your kids. You're allowed to whoop that ass. Don't punch them in the fucking face and all this other shit.
That's good shit.
You know what I mean?
I'm with that.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to, as long as I'm not blacking a nigga eye.
I'm with that.
But you're allowed to whoop and discipline your kids. And so what the officer said, he said it in front of the children.
That's what I'm talking about.
So now when you said that in front of the children, now the children looking like,
see what I'm saying?
We fucked up now.
See what I'm saying?
We fucked up
now. Because guess what that officer said? That man right there is your father. You better listen to him.
Facts.
Or he gonna whip your ass, and we not gonna do nothing.
There's nothing we can do about it.
PG County, guess what they gonna say? Oh, baby, come in. Let me see that mark on you. What? Oh my God, it's purple.
And they make it, yeah.
The fuck you think it is? I put the belt on them.
Right in front of your kids.
In front of your kids.
So when you have these conversations, so now you want to, so here's my attitude. When I had them individuals that would come at me and be like, yo, you can't do this. Well, then let this motherfucker come live in your house.
Oh, Tom, why you think he ain't here with me?
Huh? Shit. Huh, man.
I don't, listen, man. I made the mistakes for all my children so they don't have to make them no more. So anything I give you is law. You know what I'm saying? Like, I moved you out. I could keep, bruh. I bust my ass to pay for my son not to be in the hood. He's never been in the hood. Ever. Right? And not to make it personal, I'm just saying, when they knock on my door, he can't stay here. Because the first time he go put a gun in somebody's face, you gonna say, where the father at? We should lock the father up. Just like when I be seeing our state's attorney. I ain't gonna call her name because I like the sister, but
put it out
but
there.
I'm telling you, stop playing with me. You understand? Yeah. When I see our county executive, our state's attorney, and all these other council members and all these different legislators talking about we should hold the parent accountable. We should do this. I understand it in some instances when you got asshole parents.
Okay, I go with you there.
But when you got a parent that's doing everything they can do, and all they did was whip their child ass, and CPS is at their door. That's an issue, son.
Facts.
That's an issue.
Facts.
Because now you're telling my child, hey, you can do whatever you want to do in that house.
We gotta call you.
Ain't nothing he can do.
We got to call?
We got to call him. Hey, caller.
Who we talking to?
Yeah, this is Beowulf.
Hey, Beowulf.
What's happening, bro?
What up, though? Talk to us.
What's going on? Y'all talking about a lot of stuff above my pay grade when it comes to the prison system. I personally never had to deal with it. I've had family members that have had, but I personally have not had any problems going to prison and whatever like that. I'm here specifically about the children because I have 4 kids. I have 3 daughters and a son. The son's last. And I never had to beat any of my kids. It could be the personality I have. It could be the stature. It could be my voice. I'm intimidating or whatever. But I never had to lay hands on any of my children.
Okay.
If I look like I'm upset about something, you brought home a bad grade or you said something wrong, but I never had to beat my kids.
God bless you.
Nice.
I could never see myself striking my child with a closed hand, or even worse, picking something up, a belt, a switch, a bat, a shovel, an iron, whatever. I could never see myself. I love my children. I could never, but again, I raised or helped, right? Moms are involved.
Okay.
I got great moms with these children. We've raised the children to be respectful and understanding.
They understood the assignment.
Yes, they did. And
They understood the assignment.
And you're right.
Some kids, even though that you lay it down, I'm sorry, Bill. Some of these kids, even though that you lay it down and you raise them right, some of these kids still want to try you. They still, trust me, you're going to have these children out here, and you're blessed to have the children that you have that didn't want to try you.
So let me ask this, Tone. What's the brother name? What's your name, bro?
Beowulf.
Beowulf. Bear, let me ask you this. Did your children live with you 24/7, or did you see them like on the weekends or during?
No, I actually started off with all of my children. Mm-hmm. I started off in the house. Mm-hmm. Something went left in the relationship.
Got you. Mm-hmm.
And I wound up not being with them 24/7. But I am an on-demand father.
Got you.
Okay. If I'm needed, if you need to see me, if I need to be seen, right. I'm there 15 minutes early.
Got you. I got you. I understand. I think the point.
I didn't.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, man.
No, go ahead. You can finish.
No, I didn't leave. I didn't move to Canada, Alabama, Ohio, Pennsylvania. I didn't go anywhere. I'm right here.
Got you.
You know, I'm in Essex County, New Jersey. I'm right here.
Got you.
You know, my daughters are right here. My son is right here. I didn't go far. I can get to you in 20 minutes. And if I can't get there, I promise you somebody will be there on my behalf. But I didn't go anywhere.
Gotcha.
And that's what happens. A lot of these dudes, they make the kid and then it doesn't work out. And then they go slide off to West Virginia with the next chick.
Right,
or, you know, they move on with their lives, not understanding that they haven't finished the life that they started with this child.
Facts.
Got you. I could just.
And I'm not faulting these brothers. They may move for work, better job opportunity. I need more money. Whatever your reasoning is, that you're reasoning. But I stay. I'm right here. I am 15 minutes from everybody.
I got you.
Okay.
I know for myself. I can say this.
Beowulf, appreciate you.
When I did not have my son full time, it was the same effect. She could call me. I pull up. His ass is straight and right up. Right.
Yeah.
Same effect. Now once I got him, he started to realize, okay, all right, so Dad just gonna talk to me, right? He just gonna talk. So now I feel like I gotta show you it's more than just talking, son.
Come on.
I'm talking your head off, and you're not paying no attention because you're used to Dad just talking.
Come on with it.
And every child is different.
Facts.
You said Tone child is Tone's child. Tone's children has his DNA. Yep. My child has my DNA. So hey, what works for one parent
don't work for the
doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for the. God bless. I wish I had his children, because I hate to grab that belt and whip my son ass. I hate it. It hurts me. Makes me want to cry because now I feel like I'm on some bully shit. Like
Facts.
I gotta crush you and show you who is this, and you gonna do what I don't like that shit. But I feel forced to do it because if I don't do it, he's gonna keep doing what he's doing, and it's gonna get worse and worse and worse and worse.
Let me interject something. So, accountability for me as a parent, right? This is personal. Accountability for me as a parent. I was raised by, my father was in the military, Army vet, and he didn't play. It wasn't about a whole bunch of talking with my dad.
Yeah.
The talking was the warning. And as a mother, that became my way.
Facts.
Now I've learned later that some of my ways wasn't appreciated. However, I have those children that Beowulf is speaking about. I said something one time, and I explained to everybody involved that you came out of this. You came from me and out of me.
That's right.
Check this out. You did that this time, but I'm gonna let you know what's gonna happen next time. And it just wasn't a conversation. I'm not gonna remind you of what I said. That's your job. And I feel like if I'm raising you and let you disrespect me, why am I shocked and appalled when the police come and holler at me and tell me you cussed the teacher out?
Okay.
Or you jumped out in the streets like you got big draws? Why am I surprised at that when it started here? And I'm just going there because everything is not about the home, but some of the stuff is about the home.
It starts at the home.
And
don't even go there. It starts at the home.
Some people say it ain't always parents.
Nah, nigga, it starts at the home.
In the area and in the arena where the disrespect is allowed in the home, that definitely is the beginning of this child thinking that I don't even got to respect my mother.
Yeah, bullshit
So
on
definitely
that.
ain't gonna respect nobody else in
Bullshit.
society.
At
Exactly.
all. And then the officers, I'm going to go ahead with the officers. I'm sorry, Tone. And he go to officers, right? The officers understand what you just said. The legislation is this, the laws is that. Why should I go to work, OT, every day and put my life on the line and run you down and chase you down and beat you and do whatever you do to people who, I shouldn't say beat you, but do whatever
You say
people
beat
do.
you? I can see it all the time.
Whatever
That's a
they
whole other
do
conversation, though.
to get a suspect in custody, and then I go to work to clock out and your ass back on the street. Why would I? So calm down, I'm not a yeller. Those people, I understand that I don't give a fuck attitude from our police. I understand that. Why am I doing my job? For what?
Okay. All right. So let me.
For
let me-
what? I'm not
let me-
saying everything police do is all fair. I'm
Okay,
just
no,
saying the fair
because
parts.
we're not even gonna go there.
Okay,
That's
we're
a
not.
whole nother
Okay,
topic
okay,
for
okay. Another day. Gotcha.
another day.
Gotcha.
So let me start making it kind of personal.
Okay.
Like in my household, if there's a problem with my son, my phone fucking rings, and all I gotta do is say, "Do we have to have a conversation?" That's it. All she gotta do is be like, "Yo, I'm gonna call your dad." No, don't call that nigga. Don't call that nigga.
Exactly.
I didn't have a problem. My kids knew off the rip, if you fuck up, you're gonna get fucked up.
Period.
I'm not gonna play with you. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I love you to death. There's nothing in this world I wouldn't do for you. You're my blood. But when you step outside this motherfucking house, you represent me.
Yes.
And I'll be goddamned if you gonna run around this street like a little motherfucking Neanderthal.
Trying
No,
to tell
nigga.
you.
I'm the Neanderthal. You know what I mean? No. So when it came to my kids, I didn't give a fuck if it was my daughter or my son. The same rules applied. You know what I mean? It's my daughter. It hurt my heart, but I had to whoop that ass too. And once I whooped that ass, you know what I mean? After that, here's what happened. You got a problem? Do we need to have another conversation?
Exactly.
That was it, straighten right up. No, I ain't fucking because you didn't want that. See, it was a difference. I put the respect in them.
Yes.
Because they knew that I was not to be played with.
Yes.
Now they can get away with shit over their mama, but that's a whole nother story. That's a different
Can't run
story.
too much.
But when it came, you can't.
Yes,
You can't.
yes, yes.
So when it came to my house, like OT said, yo, this is what's going on. These are the rules
Yeah.
and regulations
Yeah.
in my house.
That's it.
You know what I mean? You more than welcome to be here. You're my child. You could always be with me. I don't have a problem with that. But that bullshit that you did over there, that ain't happening here. When we step outside the house, you're going to act accordingly. You know what I mean? And I'm holding you responsible, holding you accountable for your actions. It didn't matter where you at, what you were doing, why you did it. I'm holding you accountable for your actions.
You
I'm
have
not
to.
letting that shit slide. No.
You have
Remember
to.
I told you weeks ago that I was brought up and I still bring my children up with this ideology. Your reputation is not yours to ruin. Maybe it's mine.
Facts.
Before you get, my last name was given to you.
Right.
I owe something to my dad
Right.
and to my grandparents.
Right.
So when my kids understood that, the assignment was understood. I ain't
Right.
saying they don't do fuck shit. I don't know.
That's cool.
but
Children
they are not.
gonna make
They
mistakes.
law abiding.
Right.
They ain't been in jail. Ain't nobody been in the
Blessings.
streets. You know what I'm saying? Thank God.
Blessings.
So
And so, in like in this whole justice reform, did you know that juveniles in Washington, D.C., charged with murders will go to a juvenile facility, even at 17,
because they ain't out of age yet.
because they're not 18. So, Baby K allegedly killed a little girl
Okay.
while on the run. So he has
This one right
attempted
here.
he has attempted murders
But there's a
in
murder.
Prince George's County, but a murder charge in D.C. So if Maryland was to release him to D.C. for a murder, he would go to a he would go, what's that, Oak Hill or whatever the hell it is. He would go to a children's detention center because of the law for a murder. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So
in Washington, D.C., if you're under the age of 18, I don't care how heinous the crime is, you will be charged as a juvenile
So let me
in a
ask you
juvenile
That's
facility.
crazy.
But then I guess they will have to wave you up later. But my
That's what I
point
was gonna
is,
ask.
your ass should be in 1901 D Street. You commit
Facts.
a murder, you need to go to an adult prison, because the message that you're sending to these children.
There it is. There it
You
is.
remember them two sisters did that stuff to the
Yes.
Uber driver?
Yep. What'd they get?
Juveniles.
No, they
Slapped
got
on the wrist.
house arrest.
I
Slapped
think
on the
I
wrist.
think I got locked up, but it's juveniles though. I don't know. let's Google it or something real quick.
Hey, white man, perk 30. Is there a way to find out what? Remember that situation?
The Uber driver was robbed and
killed.
Flipped.
Do we know? And can you find out any information on them young?
Because the message that you're sending, and look, DC and PG County is neighbors.
Yeah.
So if you're telling the children of DC, no matter what you do, you're going to a juvenile facility, that shit trickles over to Prince George's County. Mm-hmm. Okay? So you come over across that line thinking it's sweet, and shit, city, you ain't gonna do nothing but send me to Oak Hill. And then you come across the line doing whatever you want to do across the line, because you know everybody think PG County is sweet. Yeah. Man, you can go PG, they sweet over that joint. And then nothing happens to you. So I have a serious beef with my legislators. I have a serious beef with my state's attorney and her office. They're going to say, but we don't make the laws. Yes, before these laws changed this year, you still wasn't prosecuting these children. You know what I mean? So in terms of, again, justice, juvenile justice, my stance is clear. I want them prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. However, when they get behind bars or in the detention center, there needs to be structured programs for these children.
Okay, hey, Perk 30, what you got for us?
Okay, here's how it is. The two teenage girls who pled guilty for the roles in the carjacking that killed an Uber driver have been sentenced to juvenile detention until they turn 21. And that is as of July 7th of 2021.
I believe
and what were their ages again?
Hold on a second.
Yep, I believe that.
17, I think.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
One of the girls who was 13 at the time, the other one is 14.
So 13 and 14 at the time.
So roughly they got to do about, what is it?
7 years.
7 years.
7, 8 years.
Okay. Hold on. Now, listen here. You killed somebody, right?
Yep.
So you're telling me all I got to do is rock out to 21 and then I'm out and I'm gone. I'm free.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Oh. But now, my personal feeling is, after you turn 21, baby, you need to go on over to big girl jail. You know what I mean? You still got some time to give.
That's what I was going to ask you, because I want to be clear when you were saying that they are charged as juveniles.
Okay.
At the time that they are able to come out of that facility, say for instance, these girls did this at 17, and the time frame for you to be go to the next tier is 18, right? Do they review those, or is there that same charge that you get charged with and sentenced is what you rock out with?
No.
How does that work?
So the double jeopardy clause in our Constitution, right? You can't charge them twice. Once they put the charges on them and it's adjudicated, once they get sentenced, that's
you can't
it.
do nothing else.
So I think I understand what you're saying. Okay. Once they finish their juvenile, can they still be held accountable as an adult in the adult system? No. I don't think so.
So here lies a problem now, because let's say this child did a capital crime where in an adult it will result in life in prison.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So why is it that they took somebody's life? Mm-hmm. I always feel a life for a life. That's just my attitude, right? So at 21, they get to go out and live their best life again.
Yeah. So
and then you just 7 years for a body.
Right. And so, essentially that's what you did, 7 years for a body. So it's a rock and a hard place, because as a youth offender, I don't want to see them done for the rest of their life. Yeah. Right? But you got to pay your price, and in paying your debt to society, there needs to be structured programs.
Facts.
There needs to be structured programs.
Therapy is a must when these kids are in jail. It's a must. You must have this in jail for these children, because there's a lot of these kids need that when they're in there.
A lot of them need it prior to. Like there are things that happen. There are.
I agree.
Those kids, whoever those children were that were on that bus that saw that.
They need help.
They need that. The young man that did not succumb to that.
Yes.
He needs to have that.
Of course.
The lady on the bus, the driver probably needs to have that. So in that, I'm going to transition to my next question. What about the parents of the child that did not die and the parents of the child who committed this?
Yeah, they need it too.
Everybody, if my child did it,
if my child did it, I would want his ass held accountable, but I would be fucked up.
You have to be.
I would be blaming myself for his actions, although I I feel like I did the best I could.
Hold on, because you start to question, what could I have done better?
Yes.
What did I do wrong while my child is like this?
Yes.
Because people question themselves behind that. You know what I mean? So there is trauma for you too as well.
Yes.
So
I do that now.
Mm-hmm.
So the world out here who is heartless and stay in their own lane. No one ever talks about the parents or the surviving siblings or whoever of everybody involved.
Yes.
If your son did that,
Yes.
thank God, just
Yes.
hypothetically,
JT.
JT did that, and he is now locked up, and you got other children behind him. What do you do for
Okay,
those
before
siblings?
I answer that question, so let's get some clarification because somebody
Okay.
said, don't forget after they turn 21 and they get out, their records is sealed because they were a juvenile when this happened.
So it depends because my juvenile offense. So once you are charged as an adult and you are convicted as an adult, that juvenile shit is out the window.
Okay, it depends on for the state that you're in.
Yeah,
Depending on the state you're in, because the state that I from New York,
It's sealed automatically?
It was sealed. It was still sealed. And when we went to go book back there, they was like, we know something is there. We can't see what it is after being convicted as an adult.
Okay. Yeah, it's
So
state by state.
I want to know, because this is D.C. now. These young ladies, let's talk about these young ladies. These young ladies are in D.C., right? Will their record be sealed because it happened as a minor?
Because
which is insane.
I'm on the fence with it.
Okay.
I'm on the fence with it because I always want a person to have a way to redemption.
Okay,
right?
okay.
Because we all know once you go to get these jobs that when they see that type of stuff, even though it was 40 years ago, they'll shoot you down. Right?
Okay.
So I'm on the fence with it. Yes. As soon as they see it, it was 30 years ago.
I'm a living testament to that. I'm a living testament to that.
So I'm on the fence with it. If they prove themselves to be now law-abiding citizens, we should have an avenue to seal it. Right?
Okay.
Because as a youth, we don't understand the repercussions of what we did in the future. We really don't understand, man, what I just did, how it's going to affect me in the future. However, my piece is simple. It's still about accountability.
Of course.
Just smacking them on the hand is not going to work.
We have to stop that. We have to
stop it. And keep telling them they're just a child.
No.
The 13-year-old today is not the 13-year-old of yesterday.
No, it's not. You know what I mean? This 13-year-old today committed an adult action. It doesn't matter what it is. It's not even an adult action. It's an action that they should know better. Because at that age, you know right from wrong. You know if I pull this trigger, this person's going to lose their life. Man, so you can't tell me no, it's just a child. I don't want to hear that stupid shit. You know what I mean? If that's the case, make them learn their lesson then. As soon as they did this crime, this 13-year-old, this nigga should never, I hate to say this, but he should never see the light of day again. And why I say that is, if you had a body in D.C., and then you got out and got attempted murder in PG, nigga, you know what you were doing. This was intentional. It was reversed. So he had the attempted murder first, and then went to D.C. and killed somebody.
But watch this.
Oh, shit.
Allegedly,
it
is the sister of his co-defendant.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Do you understand what I just said out my mouth?
Oh, shit.
Allegedly, the body that he caught in D.C., allegedly, is the sister of his co-defendant that is in custody.
Wow.
And he is charged as a juvenile for murder in Washington, D.C. I wish we had some folks on here that agree with that. I call them progressives. I wish we had some folks on here that agree with this young man being charged as a juvenile in this case. I would love to hear somebody justify that.
I want to get to a comment real quick. This is from Russ. He said, yes, they better go to prison because if they don't, the family of that man has the right to justice for his murder. 7 years ain't enough for murder.
Facts.
They need to go to prison or that family gets a lawsuit for his life and they might end up getting murked by his family.
I mean, at this point, so and Maddie, Laura, she's like, they need to come together. Parents need to come together. As a parent, the other mother needs to hear the hurt that they child embarked on someone else. So your child, my child went out here and did a crime. I should be able to talk to these other parents and hear with the pain that they felt. You know what I mean? Without catching an attitude. You You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people out here, they just catch attitudes behind that shit.
Everybody
I
said
tell
they
you.
agree. Tinker said, nah, F that. You're a child. BS. F that you're a child. BS. Right?
That's that bullshit.
Right.
I don't want to hear
That's
that.
definitely
no more.
been established.
But it's established now, and these kids know that. They already got it, and they'll look at you and tell you can't do nothing to me. I'll call CPS on you. What? Bitch, call them. Because before you get to that phone, I'm whooping your motherfucking ass.
But watch this, though. Catch 22.
Shit.
Because we got parents that have security clearances.
Yes.
We have parents that have licenses, right? They can't lose. Because if they whip, you got parents that can't even have the police called on them.
Facts.
They gonna lose that secret security or top security, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So now this parent is being held hostage in their own home, and this child is running amok. And it's nothing this parent can't do.
So how did
People say, fuck that job. People say that. Fuck that job.
So hold on.
No, you can't.
You can't because your way of life.
Devil's advocate, y'all. There's somebody somewhere saying, fuck that job. My child is more important. Fucking
Of course.
So
How you gonna take care?
How you gonna take care of your kid after this? So you have to suck it up and take the shit and just let them run rampant. So here's the problem. How are we letting these people in to create these laws? How are we voting?
I love it. Let's get there.
Why are we letting
Let's get there.
these people in?
Can I say something before you say that?
Go ahead.
I want to go back to something real quick because it's a comment on here too. Skull was saying, "What about the 6-year-old that the teacher in VA, about the teacher that shot the teacher in the VA, children making these types of decisions?" Wow. So in that instance, because you said that that child should be held accountable, but the parent was held accountable in that instance. Was that proper?
I don't know all the circumstances.
Okay, so it was a child.
Was it the parent's gun?
Yes, it was the parent's gun.
Yes.
The parent left his gun.
The parent should have had the gun locked up.
And the kid went to school and shot the teacher.
Parent. That is gross negligence.
Okay, so you agree with that?
Depending on what the parent was charged with. I don't agree with I don't know what the parent was charged with. I would need to know that.
Can you look that up? Perk 30. Can you look about the 6-year-old?
But if you own a firearm,
shot the teacher,
then you need to have your firearm secured at all times, especially if you got babies in the house. You know what I mean? So I agree with the parent in that case being charged with some type of negligence for the child being able to obtain that gun and go shoot his teacher. Absolutely.
In the negligence, right? Say for instance that the teacher, thank God she didn't. The teacher died. What is it? Will still be
involuntary manslaughter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you had no.
You're going to put it on the parent. The parent's going to take some ownership of this, right? Because you were irresponsible with your firearm, and your child brought the firearm to school. Hold on. At 6 years old, fuck your kid. If your kid pulled the trigger and shot me or killed me, fuck that shit. I don't give a fuck if he's 6-year-old or not. Fuck you, they should be in jail for him too. Simple as that. Start him at a young age. Fuck him.
Look,
go ahead.
Darrell said you all are thinking like minimalists.
Minimalist?
Yes. Come on, Perk 30.
Okay. I need him to explain that.
He can call in.
He can call in for that one. Explain that.
Okay. As of the latest, let's put it.
You look cute with a hat on, Perk 30.
You be looking at it kind of strange. The other day you had the fucking
lately,
drugs on you.
too.
You was waiting for the junk to fall out like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So, okay, the child, as of April, this was dated April 11th. The child will not be criminally charged. Pretty much the charge has been, the gun was purchased by Taylor, mainly the parent, and was kept on the top shelf, as they explained. Right now, I believe it's all like they said, it's charging to the parents. So that is.
And her charge was.
That is the latest I've seen. Hold on.
It's probably gonna be like child endangerment.
Yeah, something like that. It has something to do with CPS.
Like
it's a CPS issue at that point.
Which I think is right.
Oh, here it is. This is gonna be weird. So, the mother of the 6-year-old who was shot is expected to admit to marijuana use and gun possession. So pretty much, it's weird shit.
Okay, speaking of
marijuana use.
Yeah,
hold on.
Marijuana use.
Say this. I hate to say this.
You better say it before I say it.
Is it because
the teacher was white?
Okay.
The teacher got on there and was like, "Look, thank God I didn't die." Like she didn't. She was, of course, she was thrown off by it, but she was saying, "Just help the child." We got a caller.
You got a caller?
Oh, hey, what's up?
Who we talking to?
It's all like they said. It's
Darrell.
Hey, Darrell.
What's up, Darrell? What's
going
happening?
Well, actually, Kiki Blitz from the Big Shot.
Okay, but I know who you
Okay.
are. I know who you are. What's up, Blitz?
Okay.
What's going on?
The one point that y'all are missing crazy is that, like, during anger, we tend to group all 13-year-olds in. You can't speak for another 13-year-old, even though you have a said-so background after sitting down and cross-examining this child. There are certain things that you don't know about a 13-year-old. Their level of thinking and functioning is all different. It's like somebody say to you, well, she's an adult, she should know better. They don't know what you know better than. They don't know about what fear you have. They don't know why your fear exists in you. That's something that psychology of a child dictates. Not being anger or sitting down with somebody saying, well, I'm angry because this child did this and he should know better. Who are you to make judgment of who knows better at a certain age because you don't know what atmosphere, so on and so forth, they're from?
Okay.
Can I respond?
Go ahead. I was waiting. You.
So when it comes
One
to
point so crazy is that during
Uh-oh.
anger, we tend to group.
Hey, Blitz, turn your volume down.
For another
Because
13
we
year old,
behind. Blitz,
even though you have a said
You can hang 'em up,
background,
hang 'em
down and
hey Blitz, if you get a chance, call back. You got to turn your volume down in the background. You got some feedback, but go ahead and answer.
so my response to that is
Tell him. I
simple.
want him to call back.
My response is simple. When it comes to the law, there is no ignorance to the law. The law does not concern itself with whether or not this child was, oh, he didn't understand, he did this or he did that. If you're 13 years old and you go and get a gun and you put that gun in somebody's face and you pull the trigger, you need to be held accountable. And then we can talk about therapy or programs or whatever type of mental health you may need, but you don't get a free pass just because you're 13 years old and we don't understand your anger or where it comes from. You don't get a free pass to come out in society and do whatever you want to do. The law is clear. You cannot do it, and so you need to be held accountable.
So what I took from what he's saying is,
Okay.
what I taken from it is, 13-year-olds don't know the difference between right or wrong because you don't know their background.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I find that a little bit strange and weird that a 13-year-old, we're talking about a 13-year-old. I would be different if you're talking about a 6-year-old.
Yeah, different 6-year-old, different, definitely.
A 13-year-old knows the difference between right and wrong. I don't give a fuck what you say. I understand the actions. When you pick up that gun, what you just said to me on the phone is this child could pick up the gun, go out here and shoot somebody and didn't realize that that was the wrong thing to do.
He had a mask on, didn't he?
Yeah. You know enough to cover.
He had a
your face.
mask on, didn't he?
So,
You know why he had a mask on?
because he didn't want nobody to see his motherfucking
He didn't want to
face.
be identified. He knew exactly what he was doing.
So you can't sit here and tell me that a 13-year-old, we don't know. Yeah, you're right. We don't know what their background is, where they came from.
you don't understand your anger or where it comes from. You don't get a free
What do we hear? What is that? What am I hearing?
That's probably him again. Blitz.
Turn the volume down, please. Turn your volume
Just turn it
down.
down low.
You need to be held accountable.
Low.
He's got to turn his volume down. Can't.
You got to cut him off because he can't hear us. He
Yeah.
can't hear us. I'm trying to tell him.
Yeah, he's got to turn his volume down. We want your feedback, but we need you to turn the volume down before you call in. You know what I mean? But that's just where I see it. I mean, I get it. And at what age does a child know the difference between right and wrong?
But let me ask you this: what did you
know
expect to
right and
happen?
wrong.
Because number one, we give kids games, Grand Theft Auto, we give them all these
Facts.
games, and you know that when you shoot someone, that person ceases to live or they're hurt. So what was the intent when you go up to a person with a gun? Can you be prosecuted for intent?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You just got to be able to prove the intent.
Intent.
So if I come to you with a gun and I pull the trigger, you jury, what was my intent?
to kill you.
To kill your ass. Even though I didn't kill you, I pulled the
I
trigger
intended to.
with a gun in your face.
I intended
I
to.
intended to kill you, which in Prince George's County can be proved by circumstantial evidence.
Now. Okay,
All right,
caller.
caller. Now we could.
Who we
What's going on?
talking to?
Hello?
Yeah,
Yes.
there we go.
I'm back.
There
All
we
right.
go.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard my response.
Okay.
Can you hear
I heard
us?
everything. I'm
Okay,
listening to it.
okay. Come on.
But you know what's crazy? Check this out, though. I hear that y'all are saying that the law is concise. The law is concise. I don't know whether you're exactly clear on how laws are made. Laws are made upon the opinions of legislators who sit around and they make the law. The law is not a direct science. The same way we suffer at the hands of the law of unfair laws, the same way we have people who say the same thing you said. Oh, well, the law is concise. It's clear. And then we get a guy who comes out of jail after 50 years who was innocent. The law makes mistakes. The laws are based on opinions of legislators who go to battle for what they think is right. That's not a clear science. So just like they think that's right, there are other people out there who disagree with them. The only reason is that they're outvoted.
So that's what I said.
Are made.
So that's why I said we need to pay,
and that's the
pay
same
better
thing
attention.
about black men, when they say they put one of our young black men away forever, ever for something little that he should get smacked on the hand, then our argument becomes different. Our argument only becomes the same when we don't agree with what's going on or we agree what's going on. Throw that 13-year child away, so on and so forth, because the law is clear and concise. But then when it's your nephew, this is some bullshit. This gentleman shouldn't be in jail forever, ever. Nobody argues that the law is clear-cut, concise, and fair when they don't agree with somebody should not be serving that certain sentence. So it's biased based upon opinion.
It depends on who it is. It's biased too.
But here's the thing. It's not.
No, well,
it's not opinion.
You know what?
Bruh,
You're right.
Can
but
I say
think about
something?
what you're saying. But think about what you're saying.
Can I
the
respond?
law is biased depending on who it is, but the bias still exists. Regardless of who it is, the bias still exists. And the definition of bias is what? Being one-sided and not being fair. Regardless of who it is, whether it's white, purple, yellow, or what, the bias still exists.
Okay. Go ahead.
Go ahead, OT.
So I think the point that I'm trying to make is whether we agree with the law or not, it's still the law. So the law is actually a fact. It's not an opinion. You can read it in the book. If you commit this crime, this is the time you're facing. That's not an opinion. That's factual. My point that I'm making is, at what point do we hold them accountable and throw away all the excuses that we could come up with in our mind and say, no, son, you committed this act, you have to pay? That's a question.
Blitz.
That's a question.
Blitz.
You still there?
Is he gone?
Blitz.
No, is he still there?
He must have muted himself.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
if you can hear us, respond. If not, we're gonna move on.
All right. So
let's get to the legislative.
Let's get to that because I heard him say that, and I'm like, and I think I mentioned that earlier and said we're allowing these people to get in this place and make these laws. You know what I mean? We're allowing that. So that's where we got to, one place where it's got to start is start right there and say, hey, fuck some of this shit, this bullshit you got in order. This is some bullshit. You old white people are coming up with these crazy ass laws. No, not old.
Not white people.
Black people.
Bruh, Maryland is
that's
the state of Maryland.
I can't even.
The legislators.
That's like the new chocolate city.
Yeah. So we can't even say that no more.
Well, these lawmakers, these legislator makers, whoever makes these legislation, we need to hold these motherfuckers accountable too. So like, this is bullshit. Why are you allowing these people in here?
It's our fault. It's our fault. It's the residents, whatever state you live in, it's your fault. Whatever laws are passed in your state that affects your everyday living. I'm not talking about the president. I'm talking about the lawmakers in your state on a local level. It is our fault. Okay. Because we as black people, yes, putting the color on it, we are not involved. I go to Annapolis almost every session. I go to Annapolis. It's a 90-day session from January to March, right? We don't come in there and tell our legislators what we want for our state. We don't do it. As long as we say, oh, that's a Democrat, I'm voting for that Democrat, but you don't know what that Democrat is thinking. So then these laws are passed that affect us, and now we start bitching about it.
Mm-hmm.
We start crying about it. But
we
the
gotta
laws already
also take
passed.
responsibility for ourselves. Because these laws that we are putting into place, yes, we do vote our lawmakers in there, but the reason why the kids are the way they are is because they've given up on our process to see change. Okay? And that's just period as far as when it comes down to the kids. Now, these laws, as far as how much, as far as how much time you get, though, that's not the law. Okay? The time you serve has nothing to do with the law itself. So what you were saying earlier about the law being, it's a fact that how much time you get, no. Time served is based off of precedent. Time served is based off of what? Yeah, it's really based off of precedent.
No, you lost me.
Any type of time that you get in any type of law is based off of precedent. What other judges have deemed to be fair over the years, that's the type of sentence you get.
No, sir. Not in the state of Maryland. I don't know what state. I don't know what state you're in.
If you go look it up, just go look it up. It says law is based off the time you serve is based off of precedent.
I definitely ain't got to look it up.
Time is normally like if the time is normally 7 to 10 years based on armed robbery, because my brother did 7 to 10, you can almost look for armed robbery. You're gonna get no less than 7 to 10.
That's probably in your state.
If you do get less than 7 to 10, it's because you snitched or done something to cooperate.
That's probably in your state.
To do between 7 to 10.
Okay, that's probably in your state, but here in the state of Maryland, annotated code 27 is going to tell you exactly what your maximum sentence could be. The minute you get
and who set that sentence? That sentence is based off of precedent.
No, the sentence is set by our legislators. They say for this crime of murder, it goes from this to that. Now it's in the judge's prerogative. I didn't cut you off, brother. Can I just finish?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So in the state of Maryland, the legislators say if you commit this offense, your time is from this time to that time. And now, once you're found guilty, the judge can sentence you within that time frame. Mm-hmm. That's in the state of Maryland. I don't know how it is down there in North Carolina or whatever state you're in, but in the state of Maryland, the judges have to follow what the legislators have said from 0 to whatever it is. That's how that goes in Maryland.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe that's why I say the precedent thing is because that exists, because the judge gets to choose himself based on, like I said, what he's seen, what he's in. But the maximum is already there. I mean, and I get what you're saying when it comes down to that. But most people, when they do their sentences, literally it's going to be stuff based off of like how they feel, what's been going on in that area. If that area is tired of B&Es, of course y'all going away for a long time. You know what I'm saying? If that area is tired of y'all, if they really cracking down on drug in that area, you're gonna see more time at that time.
I mean,
hell, that's just how it be. You know what I'm saying? So as far as the kids are concerned, they're just tired of our change. We don't groom the kids to be. That's the thing. Now we groom them to be rappers. We groom them to be athletes. We groom them to be all these things. We don't groom them to study the law. We never have. And every now and then, you got some parent who's proud that their kid just graduated from Mercer. From law unit, from the law, but this ain't something we not training them to get into legislation. It's like, yeah, we trained you to be a lawyer so you can make as much money as possible to take care of your family, but we didn't teach you how to change the world. Mm-hmm. They never, and they don't. They've given up on our process. So the kids, I feel them. I'm tired of going in there to vote for whoever the fuck y'all feel like should be in there. Well, you can go in there and you make your vote, but and I understand that votes count. You know what I'm saying? I get it. But these kids are tired of seeing no change.
But I'm glad you brought that up, because that's where we was headed to. Yeah. So if we don't go in and vote those who represent our ideas, right? Like your idea is, we need to give children more services or what have you. They shouldn't be doing time, right? If you don't vote that person in that thinks like you, then you're going to get the result of, oh man,
all due respect, you're never gonna get that unless we change the dynamic of actually adding extra parties, like coming up with see, this is why they feared people like Malcolm X. This is why they feared people like Martin Luther King, because those people had the power to create parties. that can compete with those parties. See, what happens is even if you created a party right now that everybody wanted to vote for, that was like kind of for the people and was like listening to the actual people on the street, like what they need and what they require, that will be that vote will be split into 3 different ways. You get what I'm saying? That's the reason why Republicans and Democrats run this country, is because they are the majority party holders. Like, honestly, only thing you're doing is taking votes away from certain people whenever you start a new party.
Okay.
That system is all fucked up.
No, you're right.
Lawmaking has been fucked up for a long time, and it's supposed to be a system of checks and balances, and nobody checks judicial or legislative.
Thank you for your comment, Sydney. I got to, and go somewhere, but go nowhere. Hey, we got a comment from Sko. Sko said, maybe sentencing from judges should be cut and dry and not discretional. One judge may give life, and another judge may say death penalty, depending on what state. It's crazy. You all are law-abiding citizens. All laws and repercussions should be the same across the board, no matter race, color, or creed, and then folks would think more.
I agree with him, but I disagree. And here's my thing.
Okay.
Every case.
Hold on, caller. Go ahead.
Oh, so we got to call up. My bad. So every case has different circumstances, right? So as to why Kiki killed that man, well, goddamn, we didn't know that man was beating Kiki ass forever. So Kiki crushed him, but goddamn, she been getting her ass whipped by this guy for so long. And when he came to swing at her this time, or whatever the case may be, she dumped on him. So every case has different circumstances that I think we have to take into account when sentencing an individual, right?
Cut and drive
be like, you got 50 years, Kiki, I don't give a damn.
It'll hurt us.
You was protecting yourself, but you killed that man. You got 50 years. And for me, I'm going to be like, nah, fuck that. She not getting no 50 years. She protecting herself. Matter of fact, what you charging her for? She was protecting herself, right? So I'm kind of on the fence with that, but I understand. So like the federal system, it's guidelines. It ain't no playing around. You getting from 7 to 12, and they gonna add your points up. Oh, you convicted. Oh, you got caught with a gun before. That's 2 points. Oh, you did this. Just a second drug charge. That's another 7 points. Oh, you did this. Oh, 9 years, sir. Ain't no playing around going outside the guidelines in the feds, right? Which can help and hurt. But before we go, let's tackle this legislative piece because it's very important, right? So if our legislators are representative of the people, if we of us, right, which I believe in this system, he's correct about the reason. Either you're going to be Democrat or you're going to be Republican. Either you're going to go all the way agree with everything that the right is saying, and that's wrong. I don't have to agree with everything that you're saying. Nobody agrees with everything that OT is saying, but y'all fuck with me, right? So guess what? When it comes to our legislative system, I've been saying it for years. Every show I go on, I try to say this. We have to get more involved. If you're not there speaking your piece, if you're not saying what you want in your state or your county or your city, somebody else will speak and say what they want. And it may not align with what you want. And then we're going to be bitching and crying about the votes don't count. It don't do this. Well, you can't just put your vote in the box and think you're going to get what you want.
No.
You put your vote in the box and then you go to your legislator or you go to your county council person and you say, I voted for you. I'm in District 7 and I don't like the trash on Marlboro Pike. And you need to do something about it or next term you would not be in office. And I guarantee you if enough people go in there and say that Marlboro Pike would be cleaned up today, but we don't get involved. I'm heavy in the legislative process. Like they know me by face and name. So I totally understand the process. We have to get more involved. I know we don't believe in the system, but I promise you, man.
We have to start teaching our kids, like what they were saying, like some of these comments said, like she said, we need to teach our kids to make it out the hood and not change the laws to fit the hood. You know what I mean? I get what she's saying, but we need to teach our kids, like you want to teach your kids how to be basketball, he was playing sports and everything else. You need to teach our kids to listen to this law and learn it, and this part of life, you need to know this. You know what I mean? If you want change, it starts from these kids. Maybe take the guns out their hand and put a book in their hand. That's a whole nother, that's another conversation.
I got a question. I'm going to catch the caller, but I got a question for after the caller. I want to know what y'all's perspective is and what part the social media have to do with what's going on now. But go ahead, caller. Who we talking to?
You know what? This is Blitz again.
Yes, sir.
This gentleman to your left. I forgot what his name
OT.
is. Your partner.
OT.
He's very intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one thing that he's forgetting. To every fact, there's an exception. There is somebody who stands outside the fact. There might be a fact that 20 people do this, but according to that fact, everybody doesn't follow the fact. When you get caught for a crime, the one thing that you understand is there's a fact that you did wrong. But the reason why you hire an attorney is to see if that attorney can circumvent something to either get you a lesser of time or to get you, deemed innocent. There is a fact that you broke the law. There are plenty of people that break the law, but the exception to the fact is they get another attorney that's smart enough to circumvent the perception of what that fact is and whether you committed that crime, whether you can go free. Of course it's a fact. The law is a fact, not the punishment. The punishment isn't a fact. You can say they get plenty of people who get lawyers and all of a sudden they thought they were going to get life, but they don't. They get a certain amount of time with parole. Or they bargain down and they might just get probation for that crime, where other people got a certain amount of time. He keeps saying fact because words like fact, this is the one thing about words like fact, and I educate people like this. People always say, oh, well, that's a fact. You're right, that's a fact, but that's not my fact. Fact is that I'm fat and I'm 6'2". That's not your fact.
Big brother.
That doesn't extend to you.
6'2".
Your fact is you allergic, you break out when you eat broccoli. That's your fact. Those facts across the board do not fit to everybody in the specific attorneys that you hire. When they go in and they pick a jury, the jury doesn't extend to that fact. It extends to that perception, whether they can come to a whole base where everybody agrees you're guilty, or their opinion is that you're not guilty. That's what dictates whether you get charged guilty or not, or you go to that crime, not the fact. Their opinion dictates that.
Okay, baby. Thank you, Blitz. To that, you say we got another caller?
I don't have nothing to say to it because we'll just be going back and forth
at that point. You're right.
Come on, caller. Who we talking to?
This is Aaron Green.
Hey, AG. What up,
Aaron? What's happening? The honorable one. What's going on with you, brother?
Hey guys, your guest OT. First of all, I really respect his opinion and his expertise. He doesn't know who I am. OT. I'm the Phil Jackson of the black people. Okay, I represent all the black people there in PG County. OT, listen, you're as brilliant as you are and as driven as you are, which I admire.
The setup.
I really admire you. It's not a setup. You got to remember something. You're talking to black people. They don't want to do it. They're not going to do it. The black people are not going to do it.
Come on.
You and I both know that.
Come on.
You're preaching. I'm listening. I'm concerned. Yeah. Black people, no. All we want to do is complain when our 13-year-old gets sentenced to life. Black people always want to argue the
good God, you touching my spirit right now.
Crime. Yeah, it's like
you touching my spirit.
We can't argue about getting tough on crime when the crime is so bad in our community and we turn a blind eye to it.
Come on. Come on.
And then the white people or the other legislators, as you say, once they write the law, they write the guidelines, and we have to deal with it. Now we want to cry, oh my God. If y'all remember, if y'all remember, I think OT might be old enough to remember this. When the Clinton administration had the 3 strikes you're in.
Of course.
At the time that legislation, that law passed, everyone was with it because the gangbangers, the drugs were killing our community. They forgot about that fact. 20-something years later, after their children, their nephews are doing 25 years for carrying 5 grams of cocaine, now they want to cry about it. But back then when it was written and it passed, everybody was gung-ho because they were hurting the community.
That's a fact.
So, OT, hey, good luck with your fight. I know what you're up against. and it's not good. Now, and unless you ran like unless they're writing the law at the Golden Corral, or they're going to be handing out
at the go-go. At the go-go.
Yeah, at the go-go park. Then maybe you'll get some participation. But in its current state, OT, it's a hard fight, bro. Good luck.
Hey,
thank you, OG Aaron.
Look,
what's his name?
Aaron Green. Honorable Aaron Green.
Aaron Green.
I like that. I thought I was getting set up.
No.
Hey, listen, I totally agree, bruh. And it kind of like hurts, right? It hurts when you can see what we need to do, but we as a people, we just refuse to do it.
Facts.
It hurts. Like, I'm beefing with legislators. If you go on my good page, my Joseph Tobert page, I call them out by name.
You do.
I pop up in places where they just be frowned. I don't care. I can come here. I pay taxes. So I put myself out there on the line because I know the truth and I see the truth, but it hurts, bruh. It hurts my soul when we do not get involved, and I know we have the power to make the change. It hurts. It hurts for real. So my question, did I preface that? Where does social media fit into any of this? On the justice side for the juveniles, and on us as a community have to deal with what we're seeing every day. What does social media do? We give any of that? Yes,
we do. How so?
Okay, go ahead.
Were you able to get my question?
I think I understand your question.
So are you asking what's the influence of social media
Yes.
on our children, whether it's negative or positive, or just the negative aspect?
That's a negative aspect.
The negative aspect.
Is that what-
I'll
is that
speak
your
on the
question?
negative.
Since we speaking
Yeah,
about
I'll
Was that your
speak on
question?
the.
That's what yeah.
I'll speak on the negative. You want to go, Tom?
No,
I
go
don't
ahead.
want to take over.
No, you good. You good.
No, you are.
You don't guess. So what the fuck?
On the negative aspect, social media has a very powerful influence on our children.
Okay.
And I really wish that we as parents would limit the use of the cell phone, period, from our children. So there have been studies out that show that our children are overstimulated. Yes. Okay? When we talk about video games, the remote control got 50 buttons on it now. Right? Mm-hmm. And we talking about trying to sit our child down in school and have him read this book when his brain is already
programmed to
blue
the game.
lights, all these lights going across the screen, shooting over here, moving the screen 10 times. Our children are overstimulated all day with this thing in their hand, with these cell phones and what they see, TikTok. Mm-hmm. TikTok and all of these other. Guess what? In China, them children not allowed to be on no damn TikTok, and that's where it comes from. They not allowed to be on that.
Over there.
The Facebook, all this stuff is banned.
Right.
Banned.
So it has a heavy, and that goes back to our rights and freedoms of America. Sometimes all the rights and freedoms are not good.
It's a curse. It's a curse.
Correct.
Like social media, man. I said this at Suitland High School when I spoke. And I said, the child asked, well, what could you tell parents, you know, in reference to their children? I said, I would say to the parents to check these children's cell phones often because the crimes and everything else, all the bullshit, is starting right there in that cell phone. Mm-hmm. Do you know our state's attorney got up behind me and said, no, parents need to listen to their children more. Why would you get up behind me and go against what I said?
That's crazy.
Which is nothing wrong. Mm-hmm. Parents need to be more involved with what their children is saying and doing on these cell phones. This is the key. If you want to know, listen, the true integrity of a person, the true integrity of a person is when no one is around, how they are acting and behaving when no one is around.
It's in there.
So when you grab this phone, you're going to see some stuff about your children. You're going to be like, what the fuck?
I didn't, exactly.
Not JT. Mm-hmm. What? Yeah. So why would she go against what I said? You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think social media is very negative on our children. In every aspect, our girls want to look like the social media models. Mm-hmm. Like they want to be grown. Our children want to be thugged out with their pants hanging off their ass with all the latest designer. And I went to discount. I shopped a discount model all my life. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it has a heavy burden on our children.
No, it does. These kids, honestly, they are getting shoes that cost way. They're getting shoes of people that got jobs. You getting Balenciagas.
Yes.
You getting shoes.
Yes.
You getting shoes and Dior's. You getting stuff that I paid. How much is an iPhone 14?
Hell if I know. This is a work phone. So I don't know. I don't
So
know.
hold on. So my son went out and his mother, right? His mother decided to get him the iPhone Pro Max, whatever it is.
Yes.
Like $1,500 phone. For fucking what?
To show off.
For fucking what?
Because you cannot not have it.
You know what I mean? I thought the soul phone was for emergencies. You know what I mean? I remember back in the days when we didn't have no fucking phones.
None.
But then, so let's go back to the parents again. A lot of us fall into that. Like you give your kids shit they don't even earn. Because a lot of these kids, for real, when you go to school, when you cut the fuck up and them grades don't reflect $1,500 worth of phone, you don't get that.
They still
get
it.
And so
no,
I got you.
You understand what I'm saying though? You don't get
you're not
that
supposed
to go to school.
No.
Now if you all that shit used to be earn based. When you get these grades, of course you can have whatever you want. You can eat what you want. You can do all this stuff.
But you still should be checking these phones and knowing what the fuck is going on.
Yes. I'm thinking about the 6-year-old, right? Put the gun in the book bag, I'm sure. We used to check out. My mother used to check my book bag before I left, and I definitely checked my kids because what was in it. That's how you learn what they learn. What they learn. They come home, you check it before you go to school. You check it. But that's parenting. And guess what? If that takes away from us doing this, I ain't doing it. If that takes away from me getting ready and doing and beating my whole face before I go to work in the morning to check that book bag. Fuck that book bag. That's some of our parents now. What is more important is texting this nigga good morning as opposed to sitting to, hey, OT, let me see your book bag. And guess what? Because you ride the bus to and from, give me this phone. You get it when you get back home.
Facts.
What the fuck you need a phone? What do you need a phone for in school?
And then
so they're allowing them to use these
That's
phones
what I was going to say.
With their earpods and their shit in
That's
their
what I was going to say.
In class.
In class. That's what I was going to say.
What the fuck?
They in school like this.
Yeah, in class while the teacher's talking.
I had a pager. HD Woodson, I never forget. I was doing sit-ups. My gym teacher saw my pager hidden in my shorts, snatched that joint up off me. These are not allowed in school. Do that today. These children
they'll shoot you and they'll fight you. You see the little girl?
Remember the girl that fought the teacher over the phone?
There was a girl
and they charged the teacher.
There was a girl and fired her.
The Lord once again. The Lord
there was a girl that shot her mom because her mother wanted her cell phone.
Yep.
And whatever was in it, she couldn't have. She shot her freaking mother.
Yes.
So we put a lot of emphasis. We put a lot of emphasis. Okay, hold on for a second.
No.
We put a lot of emphasis on these phones. We allow our kids to live by. These kids can't even read or write. They can't write. They don't have a penmanship because everything is digital. Go ahead, Perk 30.
Okay. Because I know you sent me some stuff this week.
Yes.
I want to ask about this situation.
Okay.
Which you're probably aware of.
Yes.
The mother and daughter.
Yes. You didn't see this sickness?
I don't watch this shit.
Okay.
It was on news. I don't watch it. What happened?
The mother and this is the mother over here on, to the left of you. It's the daughter. They killed her mother, which is the grandmother.
The grandmother.
They killed her, chopped her up, and grilled her on the grill.
What?
This is in Capitol Heights.
In Capitol
Heights.
There was an argument, so they killed the mama and cut her up and put her on the grill.
And dispose of her.
So what's the question?
The question is this. So as you keep talking about the social media aspect, you got here a daughter associated with a crime with her mother. How is that going to be handled?
Shit, I hope they go to jail.
Both of them. There's nothing to talk about. There's no juveniles there.
Yeah,
is the child a juvenile?
She don't look like a child.
I wouldn't even care if she was. I hope they go to jail.
The grandmother was 74. Is that correct me if I'm wrong? Like 74. I think the mom was like 47 or something like that, which means the daughter is 20 or less. No more than 19. More than you know what I'm saying. No less than 19. Up in her 20s. I'm sure.
For the rest of their natural born life. Yeah. Period.
Oh, we said her mother deserved to get shot.
No, but the child, they need to go to jail for the rest of their natural born life. There's nothing else to talk about.
It's not nothing to talk. You chopped up your mom and she chopped up her grandma and put her on the grill.
Is it fair to say that's premeditated?
Yes.
That's premeditated.
She said
yes.
And her response is what I was reading. She says that they were trying to dispose of the mother. Like once they realized what
premeditated.
Oh, so
go ahead.
technically the daughter is 19.
Okay.
So what? You're an adult.
Should be right down there at the women's cut.
Yep. You're going
locked up forever.
I mean, come on.
Ain't no way, shape, or form.
You first off, you killed your mother or your grandmother, and then you thought about chopping her up and putting her on the barbecue.
They killed her over some money, they said.
But that's how soft. See. Here's my issue, man. Like, we so soft on crime. I feel bad as a. I don't know. I don't even consider myself a hood nigga no more. None of that, man. But I just feel bad with where I come from and how I grew up, advocating for tougher laws on crime and shit. I just feel bad sometimes, right? But there's no accountability in our county, in our state, and people feel like this type. Did they not know they was gonna go to jail?
I don't think so. Yeah.
Did they even care?
The average person doesn't think that. Because I was thinking the same thing about the Baby K situation. Like, it's fucking cameras.
Do you care? Do you care that you're committing a crime of cameras on the school bus and your ass is going to jail?
They don't care.
Tell you that the brain is ahead of the situation. Like, whatever this is, it's way stronger than than the court system or the threat of being charged. You understand? What I don't even know what did the grandmother do?
Does it matter?
I forgot to read it.
Wait. Does it matter?
No, it doesn't.
Matter? No, she just wondered though. Like,
I'm just wondering, like, what would drive you and your daughter to say, "Nah, we gonna have to." You're going to have to get her up.
We're going to have to chop her up and put her on a grill.
Exactly.
In Capitol. This is our county. This is not something we seeing in a whole nother state.
Right down the road.
This is our I live in Capitol Heights.
And if it wasn't for the wellness check that they were doing, because people had said they hadn't seen him in a couple of days, they would have been able to get rid of all the evidence. Because according to that news, they found the chainsaw. They found blood. They found human tissue. And everything was still in the house.
My God. Death penalty is not even allowed in the state of Maryland. In case y'all
So I was going to ask that again. Is that something that should be brought back in certain cases? Should we be talking about that?
Our party would not do the death penalty again in the state of Maryland.
Why?
It's
okay, I get it.
It's the party thing. I know we wrapping up, and people often be saying,
"We got a call." Okay,
we got a call.
Hey, we good. Who
talking to?
Hey, this is Honorable Aaron Green again, Kiki.
Aaron Green, come on.
Yeah, I just want to play, like you did, I want to play the nigger's advocate, okay?
Okay.
For a second. Let me play the nigger's advocate, okay? Don't forget, Kiki, we're black. Don't snitch. We can't support locking the mother and the daughter up. Nuh-uh. Free them. Let's put them on a T-shirt and free her.
Exactly.
Grandma did something.
Exactly.
Right? Free them. Mm-hmm. Let them go. Matter of fact, if this was New York City, they would have ROR'd them that night. She'd have been home to finish the cooking.
Damn.
That's my frustration with the black people.
And let me ask you a question, my brother. Do you think that is something that is along party lines? Do you think our lack of accountability is along party lines, if that makes sense? Do you think you find that in more democratic?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
yes, I do.
I just need to see where we on the same page.
The Democratic. Let me tell you, this is my thing about the Democratic Party, because my sister's as liberal as they get. I'm conservative, right? I tell her, your party is this way. You tell people, we're gonna give you free education. We're going to give you free cell phones. You ain't got to pay your rent. Don't worry about anything. Free health care. Don't worry about it. The white people are going to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're a taxpayer, then you're a white person.
Mm-hmm.
And I pay my taxes. So I know stuff ain't free. The same way they're telling us it's unfair. It's you're like, you didn't get the same chances as everybody else. That's not true. And they support not being tough on crime. The Democratic Party, because that's what appeases blacks at election time. Tell them, don't worry about it. Your son isn't that bad. Your neighborhood's not that bad. Sure. You know what I support, OT? I don't know I'm sure they do the same thing. Well, they used to do it in PG County. Stop and frisk.
Yes.
Yeah, I was.
Hey, man, I need a campaign manager.
You know why? Kiki, you know why? Because the thought process behind stop and frisk is you'll catch somebody with a firearm on, a felon.
Yes, you will.
Right?
Yes, you will.
He don't want to go to jail, so he'll tell you about a murder. Or
He will.
He thinks
He will
and do.
Yeah, and now they just solved the crime, or it might be a dude got caught with cocaine or fentanyl or something. He don't want to go back. He'll tell
then
you where
he
they
signs up
stored
and
the
gets
gun.
on the confidential informant list and gets $80,000 a year from fucking Maryland.
But these are facts, though. When he's speaking, brother, let me tell you something. These are thoughts that I share. I just was asking someone.
Unpopular thoughts, too.
Very unpopular thoughts. That's me, OT.
Yes.
Listen, I got my front windshield tinted. I have 25% on the sides with my front windshield tinted. I would have never in my entire life rode down Marlboro Pike with my windows hit like that, not knowing I'm getting pulled the fuck over. I'm getting snatched out the car. They gonna search my joint, and I ain't doing nothing. But guess what? We are so soft on crime. Police don't even pull you over for illegal tint.
Because they made it not a pullable offense. They don't fuck with you about that.
And who did that? The legislators.
Well,
it's just an inconvenience for those of us who didn't do nothing. But
don't tint your damn front windshield.
But the top side is I caught your ass. You know what I'm saying? And I live around here. I caught your ass. That's the top side. We are people of convenience. We hate to be inconvenienced. We hate to be harassed because that's harassment. You already know that, OT. That's under harassment if you stop me and whatever. I used to live in C Pleasant, right off of MLK.
Right.
And I lived there, and I had my windows hit twice around because I had a truck, twice around, and my interior was dark. They stopped me every morning.
Yes, they won't do it now.
Every morning in C Pleasant.
They won't do it now.
Until I took that shit off.
Oh, shit. See, I'm listening to y'all talk. But across that bridge, it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, that's why y'all don't have the problems that we have.
No, across that bridge. Yeah. Well, no, we got problems.
Not
as bad as y'all.
Yeah.
But we got problems over there. But across that bridge in Virginia, nah, nigga. A lot of this shit y'all talking ain't flying over there, bro.
Get right when we cross the bridge.
So bruh say, nah, fuck that, stop and risk is racist. I don't agree. Here's the thing. First of all, I believe in the Fourth Amendment, like Constitution, like not just stopping nobody and just doing what you want. I believe that you should have an articulable suspicion that a crime has been committed. That's what I believe. I would live by that, right? But here's my thing. 100% of the shootings and the robberies and everything is done by way of a vehicle.
Okay.
You're driving to the spot to put your gun in somebody's face, or you're transporting this, or you're doing that. It's done by a vehicle. Now, if the car's riding down the street and it has illegal tint on it, I'm pulling that motherfucker over. Because now I want to know what's going on up in here. And I want to send a message that you can't ride down Marlboro Pike with these windows hit like that thinking you can do whatever you want to do, which in turn makes Marlboro Pike safer.
Yeah, I'm not going down Marlboro Pike because I already know what this gonna happen.
Yeah, that was the word. You better cut through streets and all types of stuff. So, Bruce said something about me running for office. I know our time is running.
You good? Go ahead.
Okay. Say, hold on.
No, go ahead. You good?
So, I go back and forth about running for office, right?
Yeah.
Why? Because I know the dedication and the team that I would need.
Yes.
Okay.
This is not for the weak. This is not for the faint. Like people will say, "Oh, I got you. I'm with you." But when I need you to go knock on 50,000 doors, right? Now I'm out here just knocking on these doors by myself. Not only that, the revenue. Like I would need $250,000, 300,000 to really compete and run a real like campaign. Not something I just want my name on posters and all of that. And I'm not about that. Anybody know anything I get involved with? I'm involved. I'm in it to win it, right?
So is that fair to say the young brother that sat on this show, what was it, last year?
He never had a chance.
What was the brother that sat
he
right
never
in that
had a
chance.
chance.
Last year? We knew that, but
OT.
Yes, brother.
Can I say one thing, please? Just one thing. I told that man.
He did.
He never had.
He did. He called in. He did say it.
He never had a chance.
OT. He came on this show wearing a t-shirt and jeans, right? And I vote. I'm a conservative voter, and I participate in the in the process, okay? I told him, I can't take you serious.
Right.
Because you're not taking this audience serious.
Mm-hmm.
If you were, you would have wore at least a shirt and a tie.
Absolutely.
To show us give us that professionalism.
Absolutely.
But you're going to dumb yourself down. Mm-hmm. Let me, I'm going on this show.
Let's go.
And I told him, I said, you know what, man, get out of here with that. And sure enough, he wasted it. He thought because he could come on and say, look, I'm an ex-professional athlete. I don't need the money. I'm here for the people.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Okay. Ask Donna Edwards.
Yes.
So my thing is, and my question to him was, if you did not win, what were you going to continue to do? Because you sat here and claimed that you cared about the people and you were fighting for the people and everything is about the people. And when that nigga, I'm gonna say that nigga lost. That nigga was been traveling and been on the fucking beaches, chilling, looking at asses and everything else.
Yes.
Has not been back to the county to fight for this county.
Yeah, see, that's because people have wishful thinking. Like, this is serious business. And running for office, if I ran, like, I would run for probably legislator, right? Mm-hmm. Because I need to be able to help create laws and make some. And I would have to run as a Democrat, but I would be a moderate Democrat because you're independent. You're not winning in this state.
No, anywhere you go as an
Republican, you got a snowball chance in hell. Mm-hmm. I will have to run as a Democrat, but if I had the support of my people, right, especially my MC,
yes.
If I had the support of my MCs, you're going to dedicate yourself to help me get the message out, help me do the fundraising, help me push the campaign, I would run tomorrow. But people will talk that game, they'll talk the talk, and then when it's time to show up, it's 10 of us out here trying to cover 60,000 homes, trying to put the message out. I don't agree with a lot of stuff that's going on in this county, in this state, and I can't be bought. I can't be bought. Mm-hmm. I would stand on what I believe and what my constituents want, and that's what I would push, whether I agree with it or not. You put me in office. This is what you want done? Mm-hmm. I'm going to get on that floor, and I'm going to represent what you want done to the fullest. This is what you want.
Right.
You sure? This is what I'm going to go argue.
You are a mouthpiece.
That's it.
So if things were to line up correctly for you, would you run?
I would run. If I had my people and the finances, I would absolutely run. I cannot do it without people.
So for you people out here watching, you know what I mean, you hear what this man is about. You hear what he's saying. I mean, we need more people like him in office, right? So why not let's get behind this brother and make this happen? Y'all see it. Y'all heard it.
You put money on everything else.
Fuck that.
And I'm saying there's so many of us, even just in the community.
Small amount for so many.
If you had 30 bikers say, hey, if we had 30 clubs say we gonna pledge 10,000, we in the building.
Yeah.
In the building.
Yeah.
We in the building.
Look, that's what he said. We can raise. This is Bruce Batman said.
Bruce been telling me forever.
300,000 in no time.
No time.
Bruce been telling me forever.
And he said, and he was like, we have time. There is time we have time to make this happen.
Yeah, it's not this election, so we would be doing the next local election. So we definitely have time. The thing is, man, at the end of the day, like, if we want better, we have to do it at the legislative step.
Yeah,
we have to change the laws.
And what I wanted to reiterate, because I know some people think that this doesn't change a thing. Look at Florida. Florida got the people behind them people, and they making it don't make sense to us. But those people, that state, they behind their mayor, they're behind their government,
Texas, same way.
They're behind them, and they making moves and stuff because
they put
no one else is saying anything.
They put the people in position, and that was the key at that legislative level.
Yes,
they put them people in the position so they can do the things that they're doing now.
And you mad about it?
I would. Let me tell you something. The foolishness that I see, I would be on that floor. We would be in that joint 24 hours.
Yes.
I believe that.
I would be in that joint with that microphone in my hand for 24 hours. We're going to talk about this. Yeah. We're going to have a situation. And guess what? If you don't agree with me, that's fine. That's our great legislative process. It's good. I don't want everybody to agree with me. Let's talk about it. Let's come to a compromise, and let's do the best that we can do for those in the state of Maryland. Right now, I'm not happy, bro. Our school system, I'm not.
But you're
happy.
not the only. And here's the problem: there's a lot of people out here that are not happy. You know what I mean? And we got to find a place to start this at. You know, it's got to be. You can't just keep talking like Aaron said. You can't keep talking. But we got to find a way to start this action and move forward with it.
Here's a comment from Dada. I think everyone changes once that pressure of the party gets on their ass. It's a game.
Yeah, no, he's serious. He's correct, but not goddamn OT.
Okay.
I ain't officially running, so excuse my language, but not OT. I can't. I done already been battle tested. If I didn't fold in the penitentiary, I'm definitely ain't gonna fold in nobody's General Assembly. I can promise you that, right? If I believe in something, I'm ready to die for what I believe in, not being silly. You know what I mean? But like, if I believe in something, no one's gonna pay me off to buy me out. It's
Let
not.
me give y'all some reference. I don't know if y'all remember a couple years ago we was talking about trying to shut down a business where owner
the racist joint.
Owner was calling the people that was supporting him in the
fish market.
Yeah, the fish market. The people was calling the customers niggers, and we went through how many years? It was 2 years of that.
Yeah.
2 years of that. It finally happened. It slowed down, but the owner ended up dying. They ended up selling it, but
No, they never sold it. The wife is running it.
The wife is running it?
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought I heard. Okay.
They were it was up for sale, but they wanted like $3 or $4 million for it.
Okay. So now the wife is there, and I don't know. They put a dent in that business. I'm gonna tell you that. Us being there and bringing this type of thing to light, that's what I'm trying to say. When OT stands on something, he stands on it.
Facts.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact.
For like 2 years.
For like 2 years.
Yeah.
And that put a dent in business. This was a place that people went to, and the drinks was cheap, and they were strong, and people was going. He had a couple people who weren't aware or didn't care, and they still went. But bottom line is, they put a dent in that business.
Yep.
Just from being present.
Yep. And that was something that my spirit led me to do. Like, I don't be liking accolades and write-ups and newspapers and all that stuff. If my spirit moves me to do it and God tell me to do something, I just stand on it and do it. You know, even though it may be unpopular, but I just do. I'm at a point in my life where I listen to God more.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
If there's a brother that stands 10 toes down on some shit, it's that dude right there. You know what I mean? And he's not going to sway him or change his opinion.
I just want Tone, man, you know, when you come from environments like us, not just the incarceration piece, just Flint, Michigan, you know what I'm saying? All
different walks of life.
I just always want better for us. You know, like, I see the hurt, I see the pain, I lived it, we all done lived it, and if I can be a part of the change, then that's what I want to do. And I know that there's certain steps that will have to be taken in order to make those changes.
There's sacrifices.
And before we leave, I just want to mention that every Thursday, me and my good men, Bruce and
Thursday, 7 p.m. Right?
Yep, Thursday, 7 p.m. We do a men's group, man, and Tona came out a few times. We sat down, we chop it up, and it's these type of conversations that we have.
Thursday?
Yep, we doing it this Thursday. Yep, no pressure on nobody. Like, it's just about getting us back to being men. You know what I mean? Like, God made us, and I ain't trying to get religious or nothing like that, but like, women need strong men.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Our children need strong men. Our communities need strong men that ain't gonna bend. We stand on our principles, and that's just what it is. These are our principles that we believe in. We believe in. We guided by God in whatever belief, right? You can be Christian, Muslim, whatever it is. But our meeting is to strengthen I don't even want to say just black men, but black men in the community and make us better leaders and followers.
So we adopted that. We kind of, like my club, my chapter kind of adopted iron sharpens iron.
Nice.
It's just what it is. Iron sharpens iron. And so the only way iron can be sharpened is around us men. We're iron.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And we can't be sharpened any other way, but we sharpen each other.
That's right.
You know what I mean? I'm a firm believer on that. I'm 10 toes down on that.
There are some things that people will, like, being as though you guys have been doing these men's sessions, and they might be small, but the impact is big. It just takes a couple of people to change some people's minds. Take a couple of people to understand that and I'm not a man, but I'm just saying, because I've done that with women, where you realize that the things that we go through, we share.
Yeah.
And to redirect and
Yes.
and correct those actions. will help us to be able to help the situation where the juveniles are concerned.
Yes.
There's some place there's something that's going wrong, and just to identify in peace can help just turn, at least if it's one person, if it's one person that we turn around, that to me that's a success.
That's a success.
It is. It's a very. It is. We have seen guys come in that was in a tough position, right? And when they came the last session we had, we looking like, wow, look at bruh. Shining, bruh in school, you know what I mean? New job, new this. And not saying it's on us, but, positive energy gives birth to positive energy.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
It begins it.
I agree.
So if you get a moment, y'all can inbox Batman, which is Bruce Oliver on here. Y'all can inbox OT to find out where these sessions are held. Unless you want to give it, if you want to just openly give the address.
There's 7772 Marlboro Pike, man. The same parking lot of Shooters, Foreman Mills and all of that right in the Marlboro Pike. We do,
right next to the barbershop or something?
Yeah, we're going to do a thing where I wanted to bring these remember we brought the children in before. So we're going to do another one real soon to have, fathers, and you ain't got to be a father. Mothers, if you by yourself, drop them off at the door, come back in an hour, but we're going to have real rap sessions, man. We just sit down and we let the children tell us like we talk to them.
If you've never been a part of it, I highly suggest that you if you're in the area, you come to that and support and bring your child out. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised the outcome that it has.
You can cut some of the stuff at the door. Because I remember when I did the women's side, and I brought, I did 20-year-olds, and I had them bring their kids. I did 30-year-olds and 40-year-olds, and I did that, and I combined the session just to let people know that, you 20, she 50, same thing. Let's talk. Let's find out what you're so angry about. Let's find out what you feel like. I was opening up to even my kids. What am I not doing for you that you need to have done? Because we never allow our kids to have the type of autonomy or the type of freedom of an opinion. And we did that, and you find so much stuff out when you do that. So
what I find out is in my household that we do that. We give you freedom of speech so we can understand how you feel, because you're always hearing how we feel about some shit. And we never give that child a chance to talk and express how they feel. You have to give the children that. You know what I mean? And in this men's group, we did that with the kids and they were able to talk about some stuff and really express and articulate how they felt. You know what I mean? It was deep. It's not about just coming in there and sitting and just talking about the bullshit and whatever. Nah, nigga, we talking about how you feeling, what's really going on inside
mental health, all that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You this is a spot where you could be as a man and be vulnerable and open up how you truly feel and what's really going on inside you. And these men are not looking down on you, man. You know what I mean? They're gonna help you build. And you know what I mean? Like I said, iron sharpens iron.
So do you feel it's do you feel that men, you can't speak for all, find it easier to be vulnerable amongst other men? Because I know we always tend to get the hard side of our men.
So here's the problem with that. Because men, you know what I mean, some men, you know what I mean, can't be vulnerable because they're worried about what that man is going to say or what he's going to do, or he's going to clown him or something like that. Me, if I'm around these men that I know are men, I can be vulnerable. I should be able to be vulnerable, especially around these dudes that they're only here to help me, not tear me down.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Now, I found surprisingly, like, brothers have come in there and been real open. You know what I'm saying? Have allowed them. Said we shed tears. We share happy moments. We clap it up. Anybody got something good, and we do recognize that as black men, we go through hell in this country. You know what I mean? From the times that we stepped off the slave ship, it was the black man standing in the front line getting his ass whipped in front of the whole plantation off break. The fear had to be instilled in the slaves through the black man getting his ass whipped and how they dealt with us off break. And that don't take away from what the sisters been through.
Yeah, exactly.
Taking care of the babies and mamas and all of those type things, rapes and all of those things. I'm just saying that we equally share the trauma and the drama, right? And when you come to our group, first thing we doing, and sometimes we don't even make it out of the circle, we go around to each individual and we do a temperature check. How you feeling today, bro? What's going on in your mind? What you want to talk about? Man, my son this, my son that. Some days some people may be feeling good. Some Thursdays some people may be really going through it, and we may spend 35, 40 minutes on that one brother. You know what I mean? It may not get around to everybody else, but we know that the conversation is needed. We don't want brothers out here taking their frustration out on their girlfriends, on their wives, on the children, drugging themselves and all that kind of stuff. Come in and let's talk. Let's have a conversation.
I mean, so Kiki, they're asking you, would you do it again?
Absolutely. Batman has been in conversation with me about that, and now that everybody's asking, absolutely, I will put something together this week, and those who are interested, please inbox me, and we can set up a date, and we can do it. We got a call. We got 5 minutes. We can set something up. I'll be happy to do that.
Nice.
Yeah.
We got 5 minutes left in this piece.
5 minutes left in this piece.
Can we just do some perspectives or food for thought since this is going in that direction?
Yeah, come on,
Before
go
we
ahead.
head on out?
Something.
Every day at the end of our show, OT, which I know you catch, we do perspectives, and it's on page 10. Start on page 10. And just things that we want to end on so that the ending can be as positive as the beginning.
Nice.
People can take away some stuff. So,
real quick before y'all go, I just want to thank y'all for the opportunity to come and share my thoughts. Some of them very controversial, but nevertheless, I appreciate y'all giving me the platform and opportunity.
Always.
Thank you for coming and accepting the invitation.
And start this conversation that needed to be had. You know what I mean?
Appreciate it.
It needs that. All right, Kiki, what you want to do?
Okay, perspective.
Yeah.
Here's number one perspective. Sometimes it's so common, it's to be expected.
Perspective. You don't have to be in your feelings to post some shit. Some shit just be too real not to post or repost.
It don't mean that it's because I posted don't mean it's me.
Some people believe that shit though. Like
I just agree with the shit. If I post it, I agree with it. Or the shit is funny.
It touched me in some type of way for me to post it.
Yes. Right. Perspective. Today me, tomorrow you. If you need me to break that down, laugh now.
Cry later.
What happened to me today? Please have some grace for me because tomorrow it can be you, and you would expect that same grace.
Absolutely.
Perspective. To whom it may concern, the truth is not subjective.
Hey.
Food for thoughts?
An unpopular truth. Perspective. An unpopular truth. You have enough time. Your priorities is just messed up. You got time.
I'm going to do food for thought real quick. Come on. Food for thought.
Okay.
Be stingy with your time because you can't get that back.
No, that's right.
I just had a conversation about that last week about time and all the time that you lose that I've lost that I can't get back and I regret. You know?
I don't know who needs to hear this, but everything stays the same when the same is where you stay.
No, that's right.
Everything stays the same when the same is where you stay.
This is this food for thought? Wait a minute, let me look again because while you over there, I'm gonna stay with food for thought.
Okay.
What lasts won't come easy. If that ain't the motherfucking truth right there, girl, listen. If that, bruh, you know what I mean? I was told when I was my first incarceration, when I first went to penitentiary, I went into the shock program. It's like a military program they had, right? You know what I mean? But it was, so at the end of the day, if it ain't rough, it ain't right. And what meaning behind that is, if you get something easy, you're not going to respect it. It ain't going to hold no value to you, no nothing. But if you got to fight for something, and you got to go through all that shit, you're going to respect that shit that much more, and you're going to protect it by all means necessary.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but another unpopular opinion, outside energy just throws shit off. Please be careful what you share and who you share it with.
Good God Almighty.
I don't know. Food for thought. The person that you are now, more than likely, is the person you would have felt safe with as a kid.
I buy that.
I buy that for $1.
I buy that.
Buy that for a couple dollars. But yo, this was I hope y'all enjoyed this show because I know I did. I think this is one of the best shows we've done in a while. You know what I mean?
I think it is.
It's okay because sometimes on the show we with the jokes, we laugh, we bullshit, we bring y'all some comedy, but then you know what I mean? This is Real Talk Uncensored, so we're gonna have these conversations that you don't want to have. We're gonna have them here.
Nice.
We're gonna talk about it.
And you can catch us having these conversations every Monday from 9-11, Beltway Radio and Beyond, Real Talk Uncensored.
If you missed it, if they missed it, where can they go rewatch it at?
Real Talk Uncensored page on Facebook. If you miss everything, go back and look at it.
There.
Share it.
You know what I mean? Share it. It's on we're on YouTube. We're on fucking Instagram. You know what I mean? You can find us. Know you niggas got social media.
So like and share this, please. I'm Kiki.
I'm Tone. Pleasure to have the brother OT in the building today, man. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.